Yo, I don't know about happy Saturday, but welcome to Saturday. Hope everybody's having a decent little day so far. Surprisingly enough, well, a little bit of a mix actually. I woke up at 10 this morning mostly because my cat woke me up and then I just couldn't get back to sleep, so I figured I'd just go ahead and get out of bed for a little bit, and then after eating whatever, I did end up going right back to sleep, and I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. So if takes me a minute to get into going again. I apologize, but I think I got the energy for it, man. I haven't been able to turn my brain off after everything that's been going on. Oh, it's crazy, man. Yeah. But how's everybody else doing? How's everybody else's morning so far? Let's see. Who all we got? What's up, Joseph? The video vlog man. Buddy, I love seeing your reactions to Stranger Things Season 3. Love it so far, man. I'm glad, man. I'm really enjoying it. I've heard some people have been pretty mixed on Season 3, but so far, I mean, I'm only 4 episodes in. I haven't watched 5 and 6 yet. I usually watch my Stranger Things episodes on Mondays, so I pretty much will wait till then to get onto it, but I'm really digging it so far personally. And people said that, I was like, how is it even where it is right now? It's just like, whoa. There's so much going on right now, so many revelations already, and I'm just like, where does it go from here? And people just keep reinforcing, man, dude, it just keeps escalating, so I'm really excited to see where it goes, man. Really am. Yes, rest in peace, Neil Adams, iconic comic artist. It's been a little bit of a rough week, man. Rough week. On all fronts, John Watts just left. Fantastic Four. There's another director that just left a project too. I can't remember what it is right now off the top of my head. There's been a lot of random ass shakeups here in the last few weeks. Legends had a bad ending. Sadly, yes. I mentioned this on Twitter. Is one of my main hangups so far is that they had, and I said this in my reactions to it, was that it had it had a pretty decent episode that could have been a good ending to the series in the penultimate episode. When they were seeing their futures, they were deciding to walk away from the time-traveling life, and it was really emotional. It was really gripping, and then, of course, because they weren't planning on that to actually be the end, they had another episode in that set up everything else. So it's just like, man, shit. If they don't get picked up, that would have been a great episode to end on. Maybe not the episode a lot of people wanted, but it would have been pretty interesting to see how that would have been. It would have been more satisfying than ending on this cliffhanger that they were in. However, some people did make a good point that it is very Legends that no matter what, they will be getting in trouble with somebody, so, which is understandable. It's just the Legends, man. They're always going to be on somebody's shit list, but yeah, man. As far as Batwoman's concerned, honestly, I think it wrapped up Ryan's story pretty decently with her mother, her brother, and all that jazz. And I'll say that the ending, the cliffhanger, the setup for what would have been season 4, it was so vague, it could be anything. Honestly, they could resolve it on an episode of Flash or in a small comic, and just kind of hand wave it away. I think Legends had the bigger, like, oh shit, I would like to know what happens after this kind of moment. Batwoman was just like, is that a zombie? What is this? I don't even know what this is. And for all you know, you can just like, on one panel later, they just find this thing and beat it up, and that's it. It wasn't like tied to any of the characters or anything like that other than the event that had just happened. So like, it's not like a huge cliffhanger. It's not like it's William's been kidnapped and Mia's been drugged and we're never going to follow up on this again, until they followed up on it in Flash and Armageddon. So, I mean, as long as some of these other shows are still going on, we can at least maybe get some answers, but we'll see. It just sucks, man. I was waiting on it though. I had a feeling in my bones that these shows weren't going to get picked up, because there's just, with Discovery's new shakeup, the stuff their CEO and their financial officer's been talking about, and their shift of perspective, the performances of the shows in general, the fact that the CW's also potentially going to be sold off, so none of these shows have longevity anyway. I kind of get and was expecting not everything to come out of this, especially when the only early renewals were Flash and Superman and Lois. Superman being Discovery's primary focus that they mentioned in their lineup, in their speech about their restructuring of DC. They have an interest in continuing and focusing on the classic heroes. So that's one of the main reasons I feel like Flash and Superman definitely got those early renewals. So, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Because there's a lot of jumping to conclusions that's happening on Twitter and social media in general about it. And I get it. The optics on it are not great, considering the two shows and the framing and what they center around. But I think people are letting their emotions get the best of them in the situation. It sucks. While I'm saddened mostly because it's just the shrieking of the Arrowverse more and more, I've kind of been mentally preparing for us to lose some of these shows over time. But yeah, man. As a content creator, though, I am mildly relieved in a sad sense, and I don't like saying this, and it's just because, well, now I have more free time, sadly. So there is that. Watching seasons. Oh shit! I skipped the thing here already. Fucking up. I'm so ready for Stranger Things season 4. Me too. Well, once I get through season 3, you're watching Stranger Things season 3 currently. Hell yeah, girl boss. Was this your first time watching season 3? Are you watching it for the first time as well? Hashtag save Batwoman, save Legends. Get these hashtags trending all over the internet. Save, and these shows may return. You know, work for Clone Wars and Daredevil. That is true. And there's always the potential that HBO Max could pick it up. You know, Batwoman's got the exact same deal that Superman and Lois has with HBO Max. So, I mean, that's possible. Legends of Tomorrow might be a little more gray since their rights are tangled up with Netflix. And of course, CW, which is also partially owned by CBS. So, I don't know with that one, though. Yes, rest in peace, Neil Adams. The teaser trait at the end of Batwoman could be reused as a teaser for the next Armageddon at the beginning of Flash Season 9, which could be deceased. That might be a little too repetitive of what's kind of going on right now with Deathstorm. The resurrection of enemies past or people's past, but you never know. Could be interesting. If the Time Police arrest Thawne, then when they're talking to him in his cell in the Time Prison, we see in Legends and Booster Gold breaking out in the background. That's an that could be a sly way to get out of that one. All right, we got a lot of parts here from Kazi because I guess he's got a lot of thoughts. So part 1, recently after the news of cancellation of both shows, many commented that both were silly and that their messages of heroism, hope, perseverance, importance of connection, unity and diversity, and... All right, let's see if I can find part 2. Here we go. Part 2, helping others no matter whatever time you are from. Countless other things are far too silly to relate to or understand. That is straight bullshit. Because it's 100% so easy to relate to it. That was the strongest thing that Legends had going for it, was all of that you just mentioned. According to True Batman, don't know who that is, fans, Batwoman Season 3 finale absolutely never should have ended with a hopeful future. According to fans, True Batman fans, Batwoman Season 3 finale absolutely never should have ended with a hopeful future. I don't know what the fuck that means. So, Batman can never have like a hopeful, promising lead in. Then what about the Batman the movie that led with a hopeful and promising future? Anyway, there's some there. That's what I made another tweet, man. There's been some really dumb takes. Part 4, that even in darkness there is someone out there that's fighting the good fight of helping those in need. If that's what they count as more Batman appropriate, then thank you, sir. You are everything wrong with the mindset dark and gritty equals a much more sophisticated and mature story. Both the Snyder Cut and the Batman both end with a hopeful view of the future. My lord, people. And part 6. Reeves understood that Batman needed to be hopeful for a city that desperately needed it. Yes, I agree with you there. Is there a part 7? There is not. Okay. I agree with you on all fronts there. Those are just not good takes. Stranger Things Season 4 is less than a month away. I know, man, and only 2 more weeks and I'll be done with Season 3 and caught up. We'll be all on the same page. I'm loving the shit out of the show, man. How are you doing? How was R doing? I'm doing good. I'm pushing through the mental gymnastics of navigating all the weird hot takes that are going on in social media regarding these cancellations, and as well as trying to confront my own kind of disappointment in the situation. But like I said, I've kind of been expecting it, so I'm not disappointed, just as I've kind of a little vindicated in a way, because I've kind of felt like this was going to be the case for a little while. Logo appeared on the screen. Yes. Hopper is so funny. Yes. Hopper's still my favorite character. I've heard a lot of people get a little mixed on him in Season 3, so I'm kind of curious to see where he goes, where his storyline kind of goes from here. But right now, man, he's still a badass, dude. Still a badass. What's up, Peter Parker? Good afternoon yourself. What the fuck is wrong with Discovery? They're trying to clean up their shit, man. They're just trying to hone in and they're penny pinching, really. They're both their financial officer and their CEO are notorious for being pretty stingy about where their revenue goes and where their profits are coming from. So since we don't have any public data, I can only assume they made these decisions purely based on their shakeup of DC, their focus on the traditional heroes, and just kind of tightening and focusing in things while they try to figure out their movings forwards. I don't know. We don't know the performance numbers on streaming, which have always been really strong for these shows, so I can't say. I don't know. What's up, Stixie? I am doing good. You just got the notification? Hell yeah. Thoughts on the Halo series so far? It is very disjointed, but when it's focused on some particular storylines, and the main storyline in particular, I think it's fairly strong. I still have mixed feelings about the direction that they've taken with some of the ways they're adapting the story, but overall, when we're focused on Chief, Halsey, Kai, the other Spartans, Miranda, pretty much everybody on Reach, I'm invested, and I wish they would stick with that, because once they go to the Quan stuff, it just drags and sucks me out of it, man. Canadian Scratcher. I was pissed when Legends of Tomorrow got canceled. I was surprised they both happened on the same day. Actually, not really. I was kind of surprised that we got just the Batwoman announcement for a little while, but then it came a little bit later. I don't know, man. I'm definitely in not a good mood in the whole thing. Happy that Batwoman was canceled. The show was still trash and horrible. No, not at all. Not at all. It was only getting better, man. And I feel like that comes from people that don't watch the show and they're purely going off of personal biases and probably agendas. I don't vibe with that whatsoever. My favorite season is still actually season 1. But admittedly, season 2 was stronger. Season 3 was even stronger than that. But the thing is, no matter how good it gets, there's so many people that are never going to be convinced that it's a good show. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The perception's locked in thanks to repeated echo chambers out there on the internet who made a decision about the show before it ever came out. And it's never been able to survive that and overcome it. So it's all, and then on top of the Ruby Rose stuff, the show just was marred with this treacherous uphill battle from the get-go. What do you think will happen with Gotham Knights and Justice U? Honestly, with everything that's going on with everything going on with Gotham Knights seems like that's almost full speed ahead. It's not in the Arrowverse, it's disconnected, and I feel like that's something they're trying to get away from. I think they're trying to get away from the connected universe. And it seems like they might have backing for that on the other front. From Discovery even at this point, because otherwise, I mean, it's not even out yet. So it's just like, they could easily have just cut that off. Same with Justice U. Justice U, though, we don't really know much about. It is connected to the Arrowverse, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Justice U. I think out of those two, it is the most likely to not get a continuation or picked up. But Gotham Knights, even though out of these, I was never excited for this Gotham Knights show, and I'm still really not. I'll still watch it if it does come out and give it its chance, but I'm not thrilled with the idea of it. And on top of that, you have Jensen Ackles campaigning to be that show's Batman, so that'll be fun if that happens. Stranger Things Season 3 is amazing. I'm enjoying it, like I said. Barry could get a beep on his time pager, a device that he has with him from Legends to communicate. Barry looks at it and sees White Canary logo pops up on the screen. Goes in to save him, help him out. For Multiverse Madness, imagine if Wanda makes Professor X walk like, oh god, that would be terrifying. Because that imagery in X-Men, Dark Phoenix, it was uncomfortable. It really made me uncomfortable with all the things that movie kind of got weird about. I think there was one of those moments that legitimately got hurt. I see Canada already talking about how you're not going to get to this comment in 15 minutes, and he's probably right because I've got a lot of catching up to do. There's so many comments. I'm so behind already. Because when I actually came in, there was already a lot of comments kind of backed up. Yeah, I'll get to it, man. I'll get to you. Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with you, though. So I'll just kind of... Canada, dude, this dude always has the best information. He's usually always up there on the scene to the detriment of most things, doing the dirty work. Even though you won't see this for 15 minutes. You know what, bud? I'll cut the line for a second because you make a great point. And you have more information about this kind of stuff than I do. To answer the Gotham Knights and Justice U question, Gotham Knights is almost a sure thing at this point. Justice U isn't even really a thing yet. It's still in development. Yeah, there's still a whole lot of stuff being figured out about the Justice U thing. While a lot of things a lot of things have been just moving forward with the Gotham Knights thing. I mean, I don't know how far off they are from shooting, but it's been they're getting closer and closer to it. Now I just gotta find where I was. Here we go. Batwoman should have never gotten a season 2. I don't disagree with that. I was actually surprised when they announced the season 2 after everything that had happened. But if that is purely based on your opinion of the show itself, I don't agree. Do not agree. I will defend the show from a quality standpoint. What's up, Malik? Am I a Halloween Michael Myers fan? I love those movies. Those are my favorite horror films. My favorite horror franchise. For better or for worse, my favorite horror franchise. I also have a bias because my name is also Michael, and I tend to like things that have Michaels in them. James Wan, or it was not James Wan. Shit, James Tran and Fast. James Tran. Hold up. Hold on. I know what you're talking about, but I feel like the name isn't clicking to me. Shouldn't be that far back. That was just the other day. Oh, where are you at? Where are you at? This just happened. Oh, this will probably be an easier search. Justin Lin and Fast X. That's it. That's why I thought the name was off. Is Justin Lin had just left Fast 10. Unless you're talking about somebody else. I don't know who James Tran is. James Tran? Is that a name? I'm sure it's a name, but... yeah, nothing comes up with James Tran and Fast X, so... I think that was probably just a name mix-up. That's my guess. Tell me if I'm wrong. A lot of the mixed aspect was the change in tone, the look, and compared to first two seasons. I loved it, though. Gotta change it up. To me, it still feels like Stranger Things. No, I 100% agree with that. It was a natural progression of where we left off. I know it might not be more as horror-y as it was before. It's a little more superhero-ish in a way. More sci-fi. More pseudoscience kind of going on than anything, but it's like compare it to the Resident Evil games. You know, they got more action based as they went because we were following the same characters. These characters have seen this shit before. They've dealt with it before. They're older now from before. They have more experience from before. So the more they deal with the same crazy ass shit, the less it's going to be affecting them and the more prepared they're going to be moving forward. So it's just natural that as long as they keep the same characters tied into the story, they will be able to deal with the next threat more easily. So it just comes natural with the progression because we're following these characters as they move along. Obviously, you raise the stakes, which they are doing, but at the same time, they know what they're up against in a way, in a sense. So feels like it's going to be pretty strong. But from everything I've heard from the directors, the showrunners, the creators, season 4 and 5 are going to just get progressively darker than the show's been. So they've said. So has me a little concerned. I have a feeling Jake Lockley won't be Mark's third personality. I think it's Mark's partner who turned on him, Bushman. I'm sure I'm wrong, but I smell a twist in the air. That would be an interesting twist. Legends Navarro gives us Booster Gold. The CW, how about no? Now, they were all on board for that. I've heard that. It's in the title. It's in the title, Chance. It's in the title of the stream. Yes, I've heard. Crazy news since yesterday. Lots of stuff, man. Lots of project-related news. So if Spider-Man's fingers and toes got cut off, do you think he could swing and stick to walls? Probably. I'm sure his palms can still hold him up. And we also had Arrowverse Booster Gold to look forward to. Yes, we did. Do I have a Flash Funko Pop? I showed you this last week, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I do. You were here last week, Chance. I'm pretty sure. I know I showed it off last week. The showrunner for Legends say they might continue in a comic book or audio. That's another consideration. We have this, which is another thing a lot of people brought up. With these shows getting canceled, what was the point of this crossover comic they've been releasing right now? And to be fair, I'm sure they had nothing to do with it because I'm sure they didn't even know this was coming. This is probably how they found out, or they just found out. So the comic was in production and in creation long before this decision was probably even ever made. So people need to chill out and not think that everything was planned way ahead of time. I think some people just won't be happy about any season of any show after the first season, which isn't to say that legitimate concerns can't exist, but that someone can't just not feel it. No, I feel you. I feel you there. I honestly, after season 1, I felt a continuous void in my soul in regards to Batwoman because they dropped every plot that I was interested in. So they dropped the emotional core of the show to just basically reboot it in season 2, which was a huge hurdle for me to get over in my motivation to watch this show, and I completely understand it. But in the same vein, I can't deny that when it came to the writing, the storytelling, it was an improvement. It's just not what it's not what I tuned in for. I still had fun with it here and there. And season 2, though, in the middle, it was still trying to get its footing. It was hard to get through. But season 3, I think they finally found their stride and I don't know, man. I thought season 3 was pretty fucking strong. But you're right. Some people just won't be happy no matter what afterwards. What if Sonic 3, the main battle happens in Sonic's homeworld, and Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have to go through different stages of the original game and or movie to get to the final level? They kind of did that in this last one. They kind of did the whole stage thing. A lot of the areas and settings in this last Sonic movie are based on game stages, so I wouldn't be surprised if they continue that stride into the next one as well. Really, really looking forward to Sonic 3, man. Which is the Doomsday? Dr. Stone and Eggman... Which is the Doomsday and Dr. Stone and Eggman become Big Arm? What was this sentence, Stixie? Can you try that again? I don't know what you're trying to say. Batwoman ended on a great cliffhanger. We were all wondering what that skeleton villain was. I was very perplexed by it, but it's definitely not an answer I have to know. Personally. What's up, Jordan? Good afternoon. So that was very emotional episode 5 of Moon Knight. I'm wondering how they're going to wrap everything up in one episode. That is the question. Is it not? Now, I think this is just, it cannot be true, but there was a rumor floating around, I don't know where it came from, that the final episode was anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours long. I was like, what the fuck? I think that's some bullshit, but 45 minutes I would believe, but the 3 hour stuff, nah. No. I don't believe it, but if it happens, man, hell yeah, because they need all the time they can get to wrap up stuff, because I feel like there's just so much left to tell, you know? Anyway, Matt Reeves was still dark and gritty for the whole movie, and then ending. I believe, Kazi, you're confusing tone with theme. No, you're not. No, he's not. He's not at all. Not at all. I agree with Kazi on that front. The Legends, went to jail. Yes, they did. Stranger Things 4 Funkos just came in stores. Already got me an 11, Max, and Lucas. I'm probably going to have to pick up a couple of Stranger Things Funkos at some point, once I have some more shelf space. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to move out of this little corner of our living room into the office that I had planned for when I moved in here, and I'll have to fill out more stuff. So, had a feeling the both shows would get canceled. I was expecting it, but not yesterday though. Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere. The upfronts still are almost a month away. Thanks for a reaction and reviewing it. No problem, Austin. For sure. Will Naomi get canceled as well? I think it's highly likely Naomi will get canceled also. Which again, will just be very bad optics. Even though I couldn't get past the first episode. I watched the first episode and I didn't watch anymore. I recorded my reaction to it. I still have my reaction to it. I just never edited it because I was so negative about the show. Nobody's going to want to hear me bitch about this show for like 30 minutes, so I never posted it because I don't want to just go into something being purely negative. But it physically made me ill watching it. So, what's up, Sketch? Because of the cinematography. What's up, Justine? How are you? You're back after 2 weeks home and 2 weeks in the hospital. Heart surgery went well. I have 3 months of recovery at home. So happy to be home with my hubby. I am so glad to see you pop in the chat, Justine. I've been concerned, to say the least. I'm glad that you're out. I'm glad that your surgery went well, and 3 months of recovery. I hope you make it through it all, man. I really do. It's going to be rough, but I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're home with your husband, and you guys can hopefully take it easy for those 3 months, and you have a strong, healthy recovery. Focusing on classic heroes sound kind of boring. Like, I love Superman and the other really popular ones, but let's show some love to the minor and obscure ones. And I think that's fair, but I think some of them, the thing is, I think some of them got a little far off base, and we had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of in this moment. I don't know. I get it. It makes sense, but I feel like their statement might be more geared towards the film side of things, but we don't really know. We can't say for certain at this point. But I think the Arrowverse or TV in general is a great place for the obscure and minor characters. And I'll just say, Legends got so far away from being a show about any of them who were supervillains and superheroes before that that's barely part of it. They are essentially a Doctor Who show. A low budget Doctor Who show. At this point. So I kind of get it, but I also kind of understand it at this point. I agree, Discovery is now focusing on classic type heroes like Superman and Flash. Batwoman and Legends aren't exactly popular in DC lore. Especially not Legends. I honestly believe that Quicksilver and or Vision is in Multiverse of Madness because someone needs to calm Wanda down if I think she actually kills one of them or even her kids. Probably. I am crossing my fingers to see Evan Peters as Quicksilver way more than I would be to see Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver again, but I'm still marred and disappointed about the way they handled that as just kind of a weird dick joke in WandaVision. That's the only negative thing that I really have about WandaVision is the way they handled that, and that's probably because I'm just a huge Evan Peters stan. If it happens, then that could set her loose in the Multiverse of Madness. And then only focusing on minor characters always is going to get boring as well. Yep, very true. And you're not going to have the audience that you want either. That's the thing. Your audience is going to dwindle. It's going to be hard to find that audience in the beginning anyway. I just want to wrap up season or movie for Legends. The Batwoman finale is not bad enough, so while I'm sad, I'm not mad like with Legends. I agree with that. I think Legends should get a wrap up in some form. Batwoman, it wasn't a huge enough cliffhanger that has us being like, oh, everybody's gonna die, or anything like that. So, like, I'm okay not knowing what happens with that. It could just be another villain of the week that they take care of in a day. For all we know. We don't know. I mean, it was just the mildest of teases. While Legends was just literally the entire crew getting captured and imprisoned and left in the wind after meeting Booster Gold. I'm not watching it for the first time. Stranger Things, no. Wow, Jesus, that just goes to show just how far behind I am. Yeah, this message came in at 4:09, and it's 4:34 already. God damn. My favorite Halloween movies are Halloween 4 and 5, starring Danielle Harris. She's my favorite actress. She's great, and she plays a great Jamie Lloyd. Yes, Halloween 4 and 5 I do really enjoy. I think I do think they had a great premise in 4 that they failed to follow up on, which is a little disappointing. But they were rushing things. They just had no plan, and they did kind of run it into the ground because Halloween 6 is a train wreck of a movie. My favorite Halloween film of the originals is probably still 1. 2 is also up there, I think. Daddy likes the doggy. What? Spider-Man versus Blue Beetle. Probably Spider-Man. CBM, exactly. Minor characters need love as well. People are kind of tired of Superman and Batman. Also kind of agree with that. I don't know, man. Zaslav apparently paused all scripted TV on TNT, TBS. So pissed that many CNN staff members with the closure of their streaming service after not even 2 months. Yeah, I did hear about that too. It's not just on the CW. They've they've dropped a bunch of stuff across all the channels that they own. So it's not just here. That's why I'm like, this has to be Discovery's doing. This has to be Discovery. Making, cutting the budget and their costs where they can. Whoops. And no, everybody's blaming the CW. Everybody's calling the CW hypocrites. The CW doesn't have any control at the end of the day about what happens with this stuff. So, like, if every superhero movie focuses on a secure hero, like, I don't know, the Wonder Twins, it can get very repetitive really quick. Well, it could also be very different very easily, depending on who they go with. But we're still getting that Wonder Twins, because that's coming to HBO Max, though. So we'll see where that goes. I want to ask you something, but I forgot. Well, if you remember, drop it in. What was the best season of Batwoman to me, and who grew to be my favorite character? Okay. The best season, I think, if I'm thinking just best put together, written, performance, progression, story, acting, all of that, it's season 3. But my favorite season is still season 1. So there's a difference there. I acknowledge season 3 is the better put together season out of all of them. But I still prefer the story that was being told in season 1. It was way more personal in my book. And it was what I was sold on originally. So, yeah, man. Favorite character, though, I think originally it was Alice. And she, for a long time, and I never, like, stopped caring about Alice. But Rachel Scarsden was phenomenal. No matter what you say about anything else going on in the show or whatever, Rachel Scarsden was consistently fucking epic in the show as this villain, as a sympathetic villain as well. And I really loved her performance. But they started to not really know what to do with her without Kate. And that became a little more apparent in season 3. While I did like her dynamic with Mary, it was a little forced. And because, honestly, I mean, she killed Mary's mom. They feel like they brushed that over really easily. But it ended up being Luke. Luke ended up being my favorite character. I loved him in season 1. His dynamic, his banter, his quippiness, all that. But he just got better and better and more complex as the show went on. Where I felt like Alice kind of plateaued a little bit. So Luke, in the end, became my favorite character in the show. Because the showrunner said that they would want to continue the story probably in a movie. That would be cool. That would be cool. Will I be watching Gotham Knight? I will be watching Gotham Knights. I'll at least give it a chance. Like I said, I was not sold on Batwoman with the trailers. And I think that's the thing that did the show the worst injustice, is the marketing for the show did not represent what the show is actually about. The show painted a very different version of the show, which got a lot of people riled up and upset. And I knew the CW and I know what they did. So I saw it and I was like, God, this looks not great. This looks like it's going to be all the things I'm not going to like. And then I watched the show because I don't like judging something before I've actually seen it. You can have great trailers for shitty-ass movies, and you can have bad trailers for amazing stuff. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'll let it speak for itself. I watched the first episode, and I was sold on the first episode. I liked it. And it was not what was sold in the trailers. Not by a long shot. And it's still none of the things I feel like anybody in the hate chambers says it is. So the same thing for Gotham Knights. While I don't like anything I'm hearing about it, I'll give it its fair shake when it comes out and I can sit down and watch it. Because, you know, hearing about it, talking about it, it's not the same as watching it for yourself. So I'm going to be excited to see, to at least give it a chance. I'm not excited for the Gotham Knights game either, to be honest. I'm worried it's going to be another Marvel Avengers situation, but we'll see. What don't I like about Stranger Things? I'm only watching 2 episodes at a time. How I only have time to watch 2 episodes a week. Nah. What do I not like about Stranger Things? I guess the biggest nitpick I could have is like this need to have Nancy and Jonathan always kind of have a spat thrown into the middle of a season somewhere. Maybe, but that's a nitpick because I understand why it happened and why it's happening. Like, it makes sense why it's happening, but it's just frustrating. I really like the show right now. I still think it's like a 10 out of 10 at the moment. So it's hard for me to find something I just don't like. And it's not that I even don't like that. I do find it a little annoying as a viewer, but that's about it. Batman ended with a hopeful sequel as well. Yep. Won't be watching Gotham Knights, though. Why not? Why not? The sequel I can see being tragic more than dark if they do Hush or Freeze. But we're talking about the Batman. We're not talking about what is coming down the pipeline. We were talking about the movie The Batman and how the Batman ended. It ended with a hopeful tone and theme and message. Like, it had a hopeful ending in the end. That's what we're talking about. Like, it had a hopeful future at the end of that movie. Had we not got any other movies after that, if there was never a sequel announced, it ended with a hopeful prospective future in the horizon. So that's what we were talking about. If Gotham Knights takes over for Batwoman, what do you think will take over for Legends? Maybe Justice U if that gets picked up, but honestly, I have no clue. Nothing else is announced on the DC front. I mean, we got the Wonder Twins thing on HBO Max. We still have HBO Max's Constantine show coming out. We still have the HBO Green Lantern show that has been dark for like 3 years now. Who knows? I really don't know. F's in the chat for Legends, 100%. Subby and Arrowverse has been trending since yesterday till now, and it will continue to do so, I imagine. Well, I watched the season 4 trailer for Stranger Things. The season 3 trailer is also worth watching. I'm with 2 weeks to go before the show comes out. I'm second guessing watching any trailers going into it because I think I'm gonna have a better time with the show, not knowing what's coming, not being able to speculate or guess what's coming, set up expectations before we get to it. So I'm probably going to skip on watching any of the trailers between the seasons, like I've been doing. Because I just like doing that more. Now, however, when we got like a year, 2 years, whatever between season 4 and 5, I'll probably, of course, react to those trailers on the channel. Because it's a little different. I just have 2 weeks to go, so I'll probably just go into it blind. Like, Batman 2 could be one of the most emotional DC films if done correctly, but I have faith in the GOAT Reeves. Yeah, but that's completely not at all tied into what we've been talking about at all. You're not wrong. Marvel Sandman versus DC Sandman. DC Sandman, because he's literally a god. Can we finally get a Diggle Green Lantern show, please? I would fucking love that. Have I ever played Persona? I've played like 3 hours of Persona 5, and that's it. There was that, and I barely made it any progression into it, and I just didn't have time to move forward with it, so I've never really revisited it. I don't have a lot of time these days for a game that's going to take me 1,000 hours unless I'm really committed to that game. And so far, the only game that's really got me hooked on it, like hook, line, and sinker here as of late, that's not a previous franchise I'm already in love with, has been Elden Ring. I put 218 hours into that game and got all the trophies and all that stuff. So, like, I don't know. I would like to revisit it one day if life ever slows down enough for me to sit down and really focus in on it. Because unlike Elden Ring, there's a strong narrative there. There's a lot of stuff you got to pay attention to. So, like, it's hard for me to not get overwhelmed and drained sitting there for a while. I'm worried about Superman Lois, thinking Zavlov's comments on Superman. I wouldn't have worried as much had the recent cancellations not happened. Many insiders were shocked with the news. I'm not worried about it. I think that with the positive reception for Superman Lois and Zaslav talking about focusing on Superman and getting him into the limelight, I think Superman Lois might even improve from this. With everything going on with the CW, I think the chances of it moving off of the CW are stronger now than they've ever been. But at the very same time, they could just axe all of it. But I don't know. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. I feel like Superman and Lois is the safest DC show out there at the moment. Busy is in the house. Yes, he is. What's up, Sheena? How is your weekend? How have you been doing today? I was mad as well. We are still getting that Diggle show, though. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. DC's The Face and Marvel's Mr. Smile. I don't even know who either of those people are. I would love make basketball things on Netflix. I need to do that. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. What's up, Omni? How are you doing with all this news? I think you probably have a solid idea about it up to this point, considering I touched on one of the things you mentioned earlier, and I've been rambling for quite a little while here. I think Superman and Lois is sticking because that's the most critically liked show in recent years besides The Flash. 100%. At least 95%. Superman and Lois is kind of in trouble due to, Superman. No, I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. I'm binging Abbott Elementary this week. I highly recommend watching it. It's a great workplace comedy and satire on the education system. If I ever have time to bring in a new show, even if it's just for a personal watch, I'll take that into consideration. For Superman and Lois, I think mirroring John and Jonzaro with being unheard and unseen and Lois not knowing who he is anymore was very interesting. Me too. I actually picked up on that this time around. Batwoman Season 3 was amazing. I wouldn't say amazing, but it was definitely a vast improvement in the show. And I think it was just showing how they kindly have found their footing a little bit. I was also enjoying Legends. Also, me too. I think that was the best Legends has been in a hot minute. I was ready to check out of Legends after Season 6. Season 6 really frustrated me. But Season 7, I thought it was almost a return to form. I really enjoyed Season 7. Surprisingly. Yeah, we were supposed to get a Diggle show. We are supposed to get a Diggle show, but it's the least far along out of everything they've announced. And with everything going on, I don't know. I don't know that I can say that confidently it's going to get picked up. I never watched Batwoman. Is it a good show? It's a flawed show, but I enjoy it for what it was. Is it cringy at times? Sure. But at the same time, I think it's got a lot of heart in the right places. And it does get better from season 1 onward. That one had too much behind the scenes drama on top of that, yeah. And this season kicked off with more Ruby Rose drama as she came out about all of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, even though there's other actors on the show that say a lot of what she said has been bullshit, so I don't know what to believe about any of it. So, I don't know. Also, it's like it can't escape drama no matter what. Joker versus Marvel's Mr. Smile. I don't know who the hell Mr. Smile is. 6 days until Multiverse of Madness. Yes, and I do have my tickets now. I actually called off work so I could see the earliest showing possible because the fucking TV spots are starting to spoil shit. Gotham Knights not being in the Arrowverse is a red flag for me. Gotham Knights not being in the Arrowverse is one of the other reasons I think it's more likely to get picked up. Superman and Lois, the preview has some Clark and Jonathan moments, but there seems to be some angry lashing out about secrecy from John at one point. I wonder how much Jonzaro leaking out like Bizarro did. I don't know. And it makes you wonder, do they fuse at the end? When we start that episode, is he successful in fusing with Jonathan? We'll see. Joseph season 2 Season 3 are the strongest seasons of Batwoman. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I was just more personally invested in Kate Kane's story, is the only thing. I want to see how Halloween Ends is. I, honestly, as much of a Halloween fan I am, I really did not like Halloween Kills. Hey, I finally caught up. And you were close, even though you won't see this for 15 minutes. You're pretty much right on the money on the timing for that. I did actually getting through everything, get to it in about 15 minutes. I'm sad about Legends ending. One of the sad things is they introduced Booster Gold. Hopefully we'll see him again in the Legends. Hopefully they can bring them in, maybe and address it. Maybe in an episode of The Flash, or like somebody had mentioned before, you know, they just had this Earth Prime comic series going on. Maybe they could address it in a comic. Give us closure there. We'll see. That's awesome. I'll check Batwoman out. Yeah, just go into it, clean slate. Don't listen to anything anyone else has said. Don't project any of your own shit into it, and just take it at what is presented. And I think you'll get, it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, is it a phenomenal show? Just because I have a huge DC bias, it's not going to blow you away by any stretch of the imagination. This is not a Daredevil. This isn't a Marvel's lowest show. I just misspoke there. Marvel has some garbage when it comes to some of their shows, like Inhumans and stuff like that. It is a lot better than that. I'll give you that. It's a way better than that. So, anyway, it's hard to find something that I would say is kind of comparable to it. Have y'all seen Scream 5? Yes, I have a review on it. It's all right. I like it more than Scream 3, but other than that, it's still under Scream 1 and 2 and 4 for me, personally. And I've seen the new Multiverse of Madness TV spot. No, but a lot of reactors have been spoiling it. Putting it in their thumbnails, putting it in their video titles, ones I follow. So I can't even blame the YouTube algorithm for it. I stopped watching the TV spots for a reason. And yeah, couldn't escape it. Peter's not exactly comparable to a Batman movie, but I would say 90s Michael Keaton Batman, especially the season 3 finale. I think that's fairly accurate. I think there's a good middle ground between the Tim Burton Batman tone and the Joel Schumacher stuff. There's a balance they kind of strike between the two. I knew you'd love Sauna Test episode of season 3. From here on out, it gets crazy. Episodes 5, 6, and 7, the finale, are some of my favorite episodes. Well, I can't wait to get to them. Watching Rampage starring The Rock, great movie. I always played the games. Grew up playing those games. Never watched the movie, though. Never watched the movie. You are right. It was 34 minutes. God damn it. Shit, you're right. I was reading the wrong timestamps. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Ignore me, Canada. I'm sorry. I have my moments, man. I have my moments. I really hope they change Justice U into a Green Lantern show. I kind of hope it's just a backdoor Green Lantern show. It doesn't need to be a Green Lantern show as long as they acknowledge it. Have I watched the TV show Naomi? I actually touched on this a little while ago. I've watched the first episode and I couldn't bear to watch more. It physically gave me a headache. The acting was terrible. I wasn't invested in the characters in the story. And I had a lot of stuff on my plate at the time, so I decided not to continue it. If I heard that the show got better, I would probably go back and watch it later. It was a new show. It was a CW show, so I didn't feel like I had to cover it for the channel necessarily. It wasn't tied or linked to the Arrowverse at all, so it's not like it was wrapped up in something I was already covering. So I was like, well, I'll play it by ear and see how people feel about it, and maybe I'll revisit it down the road. And I've only heard that it doesn't get much better, is what I've heard. But I don't know. We'll see. One day maybe I'll check it out. My thoughts on the show's cancellations. I'm not too surprised that both shows were canceled due to that Discovery deal, but I'm not too sad due to not many Arrowverse shows left on the CW. Yeah, I feel you. I've been expecting a lot of cancellations for a long time purely because there's been a notable enthusiasm that I've been feeling for the Arrowverse at the end of Crisis. Once Arrow ended, I just have not felt the same. I still enjoy what I'm seeing most of the time, but there's been a substantial change, and the pandemic did not help. There was a lot of things they wanted to do, so a lot of cool stuff they wanted to do that just they were not able to do. So I get it, but it's just it doesn't change the fact that what has been done has been hard to keep following. Up until the season 8 of Flash, I've been enjoying season 8 of Flash so far. Season 7 of Legends was actually a really good turnaround after season 6. Batwoman was actually getting better. Like, I was starting to believe a little bit stronger in the Arrowverse again after Armageddon happened. But, of course, then we have the Discovery merger. Then we have the potential sale of the CW coming about. I was like, the future was not looking great. How you should react to the Chucky TV series after you do Stranger Things. I already have. I reacted to the Chucky TV series. I've got every episode on the channel. Go check them out. Quite enjoyed the Chucky series. Yeah, I hopped right on that. I was watching that as it was coming out. Yeah, I've got a full playlist of my reaction to that whole season on here. Give it a go. Justin Lin is the ex-director. Never mind. Correction. God, that's just... I am really, really behind. I just got a Stranger Things Season 4 poster at 5 below, and it was awesome. Awesome. Carrying on what I said about the teaser at the end of the episode in The Flash Season 9, have an episode after the Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man inspired episode. That could be very true. That could be a good way to do it. What pisses me off even more is that apparently WB Films didn't allow them to use B or C-list characters. Berlanti spent years trying to get Booster Gold, and after he gets him, Discovery cancels the show. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on it. DC is the inferior and the Fantastic Four. I don't know who the inferior 5 is. You're pulling some people just out of nowhere that I've never heard of. Yeah, I've never heard of these people. So I will just default to Fantastic Four because I know who they are. By the way, Season 4 is the darkest season. That's what they've been saying. It's not out yet, though, so we'll see. We'll see. I hope Halloween Ends will be great. I hope it makes up for Halloween Kills, because I thought that movie was just trash. Barry forms a team to help break the Legends of Booster Gold out of time prison. Don't know who would be on that team. Who would I have on them? Put Batwoman on there. Say he shows up, helps them with their zombie problem, and then they go off and save the Legends, and you wrap all of it up in one storyline. Marvel's Captain Marvel versus DC's Captain Marvel. I would probably go with DC's Captain Marvel, personally. If we're talking comics, I definitely think it's DC's Captain Marvel. If we're talking movie parallels, I think the MCU's Captain Marvel is stronger than DC's Captain Marvel. How's Stranger Things going for me? I like it so far. I am loving Stranger Things so far. I am really digging it. If they made like a Doctor Who type of show, which Legends already was, but on a standalone format, that could have been probably better, actually. Stopped watching Legends of Season 5 when Ray left. I enjoyed Legends. It's not like I didn't care. I didn't hate it. I just thought it wasn't for me anymore. Still deserved a final Season 8. I 100% agree. Hey, Amanda, guess what? Spoilers. After this stream tonight, I will be reacting to Sandlot. So one of your suggestions won this month's poll. So if anybody that's a member on the channel or anybody that's a patron supporter, you'll be getting a full-length reaction to the movie Sandlot, which I have never seen. So keep an eye out for that. That said, I'm thinking about reacting to The Goonies, considering Season 4 of Stranger Things is about to come out. Obviously, it's a pretty strong inspiration for Stranger Things, and I've never seen The Goonies. Being 34, I've never seen The Goonies. So, but that, however, I would like to make a reaction for the channel. So everybody, non-members, non-patrons, would be able to see that one. Similarly to what I did with Die Hard when I watched that for the first time. So, I don't know. Anybody interested in it? Give it a go. Let me know. I got a Stranger Things Funko Pop. I'm going to get season 3, though. Hell yeah. I'm interested in the next 1 to 2 years of WB regime and see if John Campia's blind enthusiasm turns to bitter rage and hatred. I'm very curious to see where it goes. And yes, Corey Wallace, I'm right there with you. Javicia did give her heart and soul to Batwoman, and it means a lot to a lot of people. There's a lot of people that were lifted up because of this show, and it's just another kick in the shin to a lot of people that don't have their voices or have a avatar for themselves in the media. And that's one of the biggest losses, I think, for sure. And that's one of the core things that's really hurting the optics of this situation right now. Optics, perception. It's all very key about what's going on in the public sphere. And who knows? It's Twitter, so we don't know the vast majority of how this is going. But it doesn't change or lessen the fact that there's a lot of people that looked up to what these characters were providing, both with Legends and with Batwoman. And it's sad, man. It sucks. It sucks. You actually remembered that I said that every week. Yes, I do. I do. Do you have a Stranger Things Funko Pop? I do not currently have any Stranger Things Funkos at this time. Have I seen Don't Breathe 2? I refused to see Don't Breathe 2 on the principle of its existence, because I saw Don't Breathe 1, and centering the film around that fucker, I just morally could not get behind, and I just haven't seen it. Also, I just wasn't motivated to go see it when it came out, and I just never got around to it. And I didn't hear very strong things about it that changed my mind on going to see it. So I just haven't seen it. What's up, Omni? Wow, Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow is canceled. I'm really sad, and I got so mad, understandably so. On that screenshot with Captain Carter, if you look over to the left, it kind of looks like a dead Mr. Fantastic. That's nutty. But I want to... I mean, with how behind I am on this, there's no way I can keep up with all this stuff. I would please advise anybody to not talk about the TV spots, because a lot of people, I know some of us, at least here in the chat, have already been spoiled. But let's not talk about it. So I'm going to remove that, so I apologize. Put a little comment in there so I can pin it up. There we go. And who knows? Maybe there's some other comments in there I haven't got to yet. They'll already mention it. I'm just trying to protect as much people, and I should have considered that beforehand. Legends of Tomorrow canceled. Shit. Like I said, I'm torn because as a content creator, it gives me more of my time back. But as a fan of the universe, damn it. I thought you had, because we were talking about it the other day. Shit. No, I'm sorry. I should have done better. I didn't even think about it. I barely thought we would even touch on that today, so I didn't think about putting an upfront already. because I honestly thought this what I have in the title of this was going to like kind of dominate the conversation as of right now, but I definitely should have known better about that. I already had that spoiled for me. That bit. That was the first thing I saw. No, you only saw Captain. Oh. Yeah. Fuck. I thought you knew the whole thing. So shit. Oh fuck. Sad walk. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Anyway, where we leave off? Exactly. The crossover comic is pointless, but it was also a reboot of the Arrowverse because I had heard recently that Discovery is planning a soft reboot of Arrowverse and DC TV as a whole. That is possible. I mean, the point of the comic is to end the age of heroes. Or at least that's what the villain is trying to accomplish. So we'll see. Which is better, timely comics or detective comics? I definitely prefer detective comics. I was more into Batwoman after season 1 because they got rid of the worst part of the show. But yeah, season 2 had some awkward things to get over early on and held back the first half of season 2. Yeah, I feel you there, and I can understand that feeling in season 1. But honestly, I thought that main problem was getting better as season 1 was getting on. Personally, I thought there was improvement on that front. But yeah. Why are you giving me the side eye there, hun? Yep. Now, along with the Arkham and Penguin, I'm pretty excited, but still a sad day for the CW. First time joining. It's nice to be here. Welcome, Cohen, the Crusher. Always nice to have a new face in the chat. Yeah, we've got quite a few people in here. Do you got Halloween Kills on Blu-ray? And what did I think about the movie? Do you think Michael Myers will live in Halloween Ends? I doubt it. I think he'll die in Halloween Ends. But I do not have Halloween Kills on Blu-ray because like I said, I didn't like the movie. I have a review on the channel. Go hear my thoughts. I don't want to spend time because I got a lot of catching up to do in this chat talking about that movie. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I'll just give you the short and sweet of it. I'm sorry for Javicia and Rachel Scarston, especially because they gave literally all into their acting in the show and now it went nowhere. For the comic thing, the sentence was supposed to be together and the Doomsday is the final level of Sonic game, I think. Could be wrong, but the final battle could be in the Doomsday. Don't know. Oh, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Do you prefer Stranger Things or Halloween Kills? Oh, I mean, hands down Stranger Things, because like I said, well, I mean, you've wrote, because of how behind I am, a lot of my answers are to these questions have not hit by the time a lot of these other ones have come up. Greatly prefer Stranger Things because I think Halloween Kills was dog shit. Ride the lightning. I will always be bitter that Legends never got to do a multiverse season, traveling to different Earths rather than time periods. Huge potential, which I think could have been fun. Yeah, that would have been a great thing to do with the Legends. That would have been a fun way to shake things up. We kind of played around with that a little bit with the reality warping in I forget which season was it. It was like season 5, I think, where they were popping through different variations of themselves and realities, like with the puppets, the puppet one, and then the other ones that we saw or whatever. I forget the details behind that one. I think that's the closest we got to anything like that. Legends had so much potential, and it just, I think it definitely peaked for me with season 2, with the Legion of Doom. And then from there, I don't know. It was all over the place. But I still had fun watching it. I still miss Bob in season 2 of Stranger Things. He was such a great character. I agree. I do miss Bob. He's just a sweetie, man. Happy to hear that you're making a healthy recovery. For Justine, yes. If you could be any character in Stranger Things, who would you be? For me, it would be Hopper. I wouldn't want to be Hopper. Hopper is a sad, sad man. While I love him, he's a sad, sad man. I'd probably want to be 11, man. I'd love to have those psychic powers. Give me some powers. How's it going? Pretty good, meme. Pretty good. How about you? Have I seen Agent Carter, and do you recommend it? I have not seen Agent Carter, nor have I seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've seen up to season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's been it. I've never gone back to finish it. But I've not seen any of Agent Carter, so unfortunately I can't give a strong opinion on it. Legends showrunners actually confirmed that for some weird-ass reason, WB and DC wouldn't let them use obscure characters. Was it a cruel joke from WB to Berlanti regarding the grip on DC? That's an interesting little tidbit. Danielle Harris is sexy. Today, yes, but I still cannot get out of my head having watched those movies when she was like, what, 10? And I always feel weird, especially in the Rob Zombie stuff. I was like, such a weird experience. Did I react to the new Stranger Things trailer? No, I'm not caught up on Stranger Things, so why would I spoil myself? I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago I tagged you in a TikTok and you replied on it. TikTok was referring to Rick Grayson. I just know what you thought of it. I've heard of that storyline and I hate it. I hate it. So, but the person that you tagged me in, their breakdown of it was fucking hilarious. And it's awful. I think it's WV's fault for canceling 2 Arrowverse shows. I don't... It's hard to say whose fault it is right now, whether it's WB or Discovery. I definitely think it's Discovery. I mean, regardless, it's coming from that side of the fence. That side of the river is the one causing the problems. They're raining down their change because of this merger down on all the shit that they own. And it's not just the CW. It's a bunch of other channels are facing a lot of cancellations because of it, too. 45 people in the chat. Hello, everyone. Yes, indeed. Hope drops. Oh, my God. I'm not even going to read that one. Do you have that movie? Do you have that movie that you have to watch whenever you go out to a restaurant? For me, it's Red Lobster and BVS. Chili's, Spider-Man 2, IHOP, and Homecoming. I don't know what it is. No, I do not feel like I can relate to this phenomenon that you were discussing at all. I watched Moon Knight trailer last week. Pretty good. I'll watch it for sure, but I'm watching Lost in Space Season 3 on Netflix. Watch both seasons. Pretty good show so far. Cool. I've heard good things about it. I wasn't sold on it when they announced it, but I've heard good things about the show. I've just never watched it. What do you think about the Flash running on his lightning in the most recent episode? I thought that was awesome. That was badass. Oh, it reminds me of a stupid thing that I saw on Twitter that, again, willpower is a bitch on there. People were talking about, look, they're stealing from Zack Snyder because he's slinging his arms when he runs. He's running just like Ezra, the hypocrites. I'm like, he's throwing lightning. This is the only time and only situation this has happened. And it's not like it's going to happen again. This is a specific... They're ignoring what is happening in the thing they are referencing. And I'm just like, you fucking idiots. I hate their echo chambers so much sometimes. Do you think Jonathan and John L. will combine? I hope not. Did y'all know Millie Bobby Brown? She also plays in Intruders on Hulu. I watched season 1, so good. She played in NCIS. I have not played it or watched either of those, so no, I did not know about that one. Nightcrawler versus Constantine. Constantine would definitely win that fight, I think. Barry riding the lightning was the highlight of the episode for me. Me too. Imagine if Barry creates his lightning bubble and he can breathe in space and in water. Well, that would definitely make me think of Sonic the Hedgehog, to be honest. That'd be cool, though. Athena, Psylocke, and Thor versus Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Wonder Woman and Aquaman would definitely win that fight. John L. versus full-powered Jordan Kent. At this point, John L., because he's got full control over of all of his abilities, while Jordan still can't fly and is still learning to control everything else. Jordan's better than he was, for sure. We'll see that, but I think John L's had way more time being taught how to do this shit than Jordan has. Winona Ryder also plays in Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp. Great movie. Love that movie. Seen that movie many times when I was growing up. Honestly, didn't notice that Jonathan and Nancy have arguments once every season, but they do. They argue in the wood, in the motel, and in the car. Yeah. Like every now and then, Jonathan puts his foot in his mouth. Cobra Kai or Stranger Things? Just out of pure bias, Cobra Kai is still... Cobra Kai is next level for me. Green Pill. America Chavez, Fastos powers, Spider-Man powers. A Purple Pill, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, and Flash. 100% the Purple Pill. Who we get a Wally West spinoff? It would have to be rebooted. It would have to be a recast. It has to be a recast. I made you play Persona 5, then took over after a bit. Yeah, then you just kind of started playing it for me. Yeah. One day, maybe. I still need to finish, oh shit, what was it? Mass Effect. I was like, what was the name? What was I thinking of? Mass Effect 2 and 3. Will you do Marvel's Wolverine or Marvel Spider-Man 2 gameplay? Yeah, Spider-Man 2, 100%. Wolverine will be a big old question mark until I actually see what the game's going to be like. How did I come up with the name of my channel? Well, we're covering media here. So, media, that's where it came from. The Omni bit came from my old Xbox Live gamer tag, which originally was Omni Slash because I'm a Final Fantasy VII fan. So, like, I had I just made it an account, made it Omni Slash, Cloud Strife's final move. Omni meaning all or one. And, yeah, all, one, media. I just put the two together. Online, I always went by Omni for a long time. So I just kind of wanted to talk about the things I love. I didn't want it to isolate to one single thing. Like, I didn't want it to be just TV, just movies, or just video games. So I just went with media in general. And, yeah, that's where it came from. That's why there's the one in there. Because it's a little bit left over from those old Xbox days. However, don't get confused. That is an O, not a 0. I've seen Eternal, Marvel's movie. What did you think about that movie? I really liked it. I thought it was ambitious. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really, really, really strong. I don't know what else to say about it, man. I thought it was a really good movie. I was one of the few people, I guess, that actually got emotionally invested in some of the characters. So, I don't know, man. I liked it a lot. You ready for the finale of Moon Knight next Wednesday? I am. I cannot wait. John Campia is having a huge sausage about Zaslav. For me, it'll be more interesting to see his blind enthusiasm, praise, and worship turn to bitter rage and shame. You mentioned that already. Do you think since Batwoman Legends are canceled, people will start watching other Arrowverse shows like Superman and Lois? And I think you meant The Flash. I think a lot of people will probably not watch them in spite. I think a lot of those people that were watching Batwoman Legends, whether or not they were already watching Superman, Lois, and The Flash at that point or not, will probably turn heel on those shows at this point. So I don't know. We'll see. Demogorgon versus Demodogs. Who would win? Well, Demodogs can come in packs, so I think that's a bigger threat than just the Demogorgon. Now, if there was a bunch of Demogorgons, like if we had an equal number of Demodogs versus Demogorgons and maybe even Demodomes, I think the Demogorgons would probably win. They're just bigger. More humanoids, so it gives them a little more advantage. Imagine if Superman Lois gets canceled. I will not be happy. I will definitely not be in a good mood then. I was hoping we would have got the Outsiders they teased a bit during Black Lightning Season 3. I was waiting on that too. I really was. They had pretty much half the Outsiders set up across the Arrowverse, and nothing went with that at all. They just got rid of Geoforce altogether in Season 4. I don't even think they mentioned him once in Season 4. Do you think Gotham Knights is going to get picked up? I think there's a high chance she will. I know what to believe about it, aka the Ruby stupidity. That would be true. You would know what's accurate, I guess, from being around the sets. So is what she's saying, as far as you can tell, bullshit, Canada, if you're still in here at this point, 34 minutes later? Do you think other characters from Batwoman will be in other Arrowverse shows? I think there's a very strong chance. Sure, they still could. I mean, we saw that in Armageddon. Nothing's off the table. It's not going to be... It doesn't mean it's the last time we're going to see these characters. As long as the Flash and Superman and Lois is still around, there's still a chance we'll see these characters again. Just not in their shows. The second half of Batwoman Season 2 and all of Season 3 were easy to watch. No cringe. I agree with that. Yeah. There was some minimal cringe in Season 3. Season 2 still had a little bit. But, yeah, Season 2, though, was where I think it was its strongest. Or Season 3 strongest, sorry. With all this new, I'm slightly worried about whether Stargirl and Doom Patrol will get their seasons after the next one. I don't know what their chances would be with them being kind of niche. Well, they just announced Season 4 for Titans. Doom Patrol, I think there's a strong chance. The viewership on Doom Patrol isn't very high as of late, so I don't know. Stargirl, more than likely, will default back to HBO Max. Since, again, that was a DC Universe original show, and they thought it would just fit better on CW. So I feel like Stargirl will probably rubber band back to HBO Max and join Doom Patrol, Titans, and of course Stargirl as the surviving DC Universe shows, DC Universe original shows that ended up on that platform. What are some of my favorite episodes of Stranger Things so far from watching Season 1 through beginning of Season 3? That's a tough call. Mostly because I can't remember the exact episodes in each season on what actually happened. The finale of Season 1 is definitely a highlight episode for me. The lead up, the penultimate episode of Season 1 is a really strong episode that I really like. I don't know. I don't know if I could go through it right now. I'd have to go through and remember what happened exactly in which episode. So it's hard for me to tell at the moment. I want more of Jor-El and Bizarro, a.k.a. Jordan Kent. Marvel's Hell Cow versus Rentra, the cow in Doctor Strange 2. I don't fucking know. I don't know. It was 34 minutes, yeah. Yeah, hold up. This came in at 52, and it has been over 50 minutes since that original message came in. You know, people automatically blame the CW for the cancellation, but people who reported that have specifically said that they did this because Discovery told them to do so. It's no choice. By R.I.P, hope you mean rest in piss. I do not, and you can fuck off, bish, with that attitude. I do not appreciate that kind of talk at all. Yeah, I'm deleting that. Fucking idiots, man. Don't like it, by all means, but being an immature little prick doesn't make you cool on the internet, man. Oh, God. Actually, I think somebody else already deleted it. I just, it does, apparently deleting it over there doesn't delete it from Streamlabs or StreamYard. Because it should have been right about here. Yeah, no, it's not. Somebody already deleted it out of this chat. So whoever did that, thank you. I appreciate that. But whatever reason, it doesn't avoid it popping up here for me, apparently. I loved a lot of 90s club/emo fashion of the Bizarro world. I was having a flashback to what I can remember of my clubbing days. All I needed was Blade music and industrial music. Yes. It reminded me of my like early high school years when I was just pretty much wearing nothing but shit from a Hot Topic. Which movie would you erase? Spider-Man No Way Home or The Dark Knight? Spider-Man No Way Home, probably. If I had to pick. Would I though? I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough question. Right now, I would probably say No Way Home, but I don't know. No. I just don't want to lose Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, that's really the main thing I liked about that movie. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I don't know if I could do it. Marvel isn't spoon feeding us the entire Multiverse of Madness movie with these TV spots. Decided early that I would stay away from those. And I really do wholeheartedly apologize that something like that made it in the chat. I mean, I'm so far behind. And I'm sure I can't put that all on you guys too, because there's a lot of messages coming in, and if you haven't seen it, you wouldn't know what it's talking about, but to know to delete it. So I apologize for anybody who didn't know that already and saw that message when I popped it up on the screen. But yeah, I've been staying away from those as well. I loved Legends Season 1 and 2, but I could not sit through Season 3 through 7. It just didn't interest me. Not going to talk down about it. And that's fair. Perfectly fair. That's perfectly fine. And I understand that. Like, it was a different show in Season 1 and Season 2. But it became what was essentially a nice palate cleanser compared to the other shows that were going on at the time. Like, I think my fatigue for Legends was a lot stronger when they put it off by itself. When it was airing like in the middle of some of the other Arrowverse shows, it was a nice like break from the kind of formula that was kind of going on at the time. But then they kind of put it off in its own little release cycle, and it was like, it really wasn't a palate cleanser at that point. It was just kind of like, okay, now this is kind of all we're watching at the moment. And it did develop a little bit of fatigue at that point. Blah, sorry. Recently started watching The Witcher. It's a damn good show. I only have 2 episodes left on Season 2. We'll check out my reactions for Season 2, if you don't mind. I hope there will be a Season 3 of Witcher soon. I don't know. Have they already announced Season 3? I believe so, but I could be wrong. Honestly, love New Rockstars, but I want nothing revealed about anything. I gave up on that. Their thumbnails would have spoiled both Stranger Things and Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. Oddly enough, it wasn't them that spoiled anything for me. It was another reactor. Big ones too. Slap dab on the thumbnail and in their title. That's how I found out about it. But unfortunately, I already had it spoiled. So the next time I checked Twitter, literally scrolled down 1 frame, and it was there. And I had muted shit. Immediately after I saw that on my timeline on YouTube, I went to Twitter and started muting everything. But then New Rockstars tweeted out the images with none of the keywords, hashtags, or anything in it. It was just the image. So there's no way the muting filters would pick it up. So fuck you, New Rockstars, you bastards. At least at that point, I had already been spoiled, but had I not been spoiled, that would have got me. I don't want to go naming names, but some have been mentioned in chat as well. And for the first time this season, I really liked Lana's clothes. Bizarro! Lana was smoking in her bar hop outfit. While I didn't like the feathers of her wedding dress, it felt a bit drama. I don't know. I actually liked the wedding dress versus her bar outfit in that situation. Do you think Goldface and Chillblaine will cameo Naomi? Not ever. I don't want to say not ever, but like 99.9% definitely not. You should watch the CW Kung Fu. I've been wondering about that because I'd love to watch something like actually like martial arts focused, but again, I'm only really watching the CW for its DC stuff. That's really pretty much it. Mr. DC Universes, welcome to the stream, my friend. I'm glad Ava DuVernay didn't direct Black Panther. She was going to after Naomi. She should stick with movies. Yeah, she's had not a great track record here as of late. If The Amazing Spider-Man 3 is greenlit and Mark Webb didn't return, who would you want to direct it? Or if Webb returned, would you be happy, hollow, or pissed he's returning? I'd be fine with him returning. I just hope they got a completely different set of writers. Should I do my own channel about movie reviews, TV reviews? Should I react to shows and movie channels? Sure, go for it, man. I'll always encourage people to go talk about the things they love. Do they think the story in Bizarro's world is about family falling apart due to drug addiction and everybody feeling empty and hollow? They had drive but no hope. A nice counter to Earth Prime. I think you are hitting the nail on the head right there, Summer. Hello. Just want to say hello and hope you're doing well. Well, hello and welcome right back out to you. Hope you're doing good and having a good Saturday. If they would stick with that Justice League idea, they could have actually done something for CW, especially with the budget for Superman and Lois. They definitely could have, and they, like I said, they had plans to do some crazy stuff, some more crossover stuff after Crisis, but shit happened in the world, and that forced everybody to change things substantially. Have I seen Kung Fu Hustle movie? I have not. If I haven't, that movie would be a lot of fun to see you react to. Its sequel just got announced. I did see that the sequel got announced, and I've heard a lot of praise for this film, but I've never seen it. Moon Knight is now my favorite Marvel show, right behind WandaVision. Right now, it's a high contender to be right there or past WandaVision for me. I think it's all going to come down to how if they land it in this last episode, which I really hope they do. Plastic Man or the Elongated Man? I will go with Elongated Man. I say the counter to Earth Prime because Jonathan stopped taking XK while it gave him what he wanted, and it wasn't his terms. He stopped it on his own terms before Lois found out. Agreed. Also need to check your reactions to Season 1, Season 2, Stranger Things. How you like about Season 1? Did you like it? Oh, well, of course. I mean, by this point, I've already talked about how much I love Stranger Things at this point, so I hope you have picked up that I really enjoyed it. The Halloween Kills was great. I like the part where Michael killed the firefighters. That part was okay. For someone who loves slasher movies, and I love every Halloween movie. Well, not every Halloween. The franchise. I don't necessarily love Halloween Resurrection. Halloween Kills, I thought, was, aside from the gore and the kills themselves, everything else was garbage. Like, straight garbage. Man-Thing and Elsa Bloodstone is rumored to be appearing in The Werewolf by Night, so they are already setting up Legion of Monsters or Midnight Suns. I think Midnight Suns is probably highly likely. Sandlot! Love how Twitter's been blowing up over this. Yeah, it's been crazy. Too bad Morbius got screwed by Sony. Could have been cool to see him in Midnight Suns. Yeah, agree with that one. Sandlight, one of my favorite movies. Also, Goonies is great. Love the Goonies. The actor who plays Bob in Stranger Things, he was in that movie. That's something I just learned here recently, was that he was in that. I did not know that. What's your reaction for Sandlot and the Goonies? I want to watch the reaction for Sandlot and the Goonies. Well, Goonies you will probably get on the channel. And Sandlot, like I mentioned, that's going to be, at least for now, the time being, will be for patrons and members only at this point. I'm sure interested in seeing your reaction to the Goonies. Josh Brookline is a baby actor. Yes, please. Josh Brookline. Josh Brookline? I'm not sure who you meant in that, because nothing was coming up when I searched that name. Oh, Did you mean Josh Brolin? I was like, what? Who? Dion got Thanos snapped. Yes, he did. Ironically enough, because he himself uses his powers via snapping. Do you think that Naomi would get in season 2 because not getting a lot of live viewers? I don't think it's getting a lot of viewers in general, live or not. But with everything going on with Legends and Batwoman getting canceled, they had way better numbers than Naomi. So I think it's highly likely that it's not going to survive. Give me one moment here. I know I'm already behind, but just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Exactly. They were getting back up where we left off. I'm just only going to be a little more behind here now. Oh, it looks like somebody got timed out. Same like somebody else got shafted there. I'm curious what they said. Well, too bad. Anyway, exactly. They were like, let's take away all the queer representation. I'll say I don't think that's has anything to do with what actually happened. But that's the perception that people are going to have. That's the speculation people are going to jump to, regardless of the truth. But just because of the way it looks. When in reality, it's performance, man. It's the bottom of the barrel when it comes to their DC shows. Like, there's no avoiding that. Does not matter. That's but it doesn't, at the same time, it is true that that was the primary source of a lot of strong representation for marginalized groups, man. So what can you expect? People are going to be pissed. People are losing their characters or their avatars, like I mentioned. But I mean, that is not why this happened. Well, I can't say that for certain. I don't feel that had anything to do with the decision that was made at all, in my book. Especially if the CW had any control over it. Which they don't at this point. Ben 10 versus Beast Boy. Probably Ben 10. Disagree with your comments on Halloween Kills. When I saw it in movies, I didn't like it, but the extended version explains more, so I love it. I haven't seen the extended version of it, but I've only seen the version that's in theaters, and my God, I thought it was like a... I don't even know if I gave it a score, but I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 10. May have mentioned already, but I'm worried about Moon Knight. It's already been confirmed they aren't doing a season 2 at the moment, at least yet, with one episode left to go. Feel like there's so much to cover. Feel the exact same way. Buddy, I won't spoil season 3 of Stranger Things for you. I don't spoil movies, shows for people, and I'll let them watch it. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Goonies is one of the most influential movies of the last 50 years, and I have never seen the whole thing. So I hope it doesn't end up rushed. I thought this can be at least the best Disney Plus MCU show. It's definitely got a strong contender for it. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. I would definitely go with Green Lantern. Well, it'd be tough. I think Green Lantern, though. I think Green Lantern. Did you see the TV spots? Oh, that's me. You love basketball movies. I enjoy them. The Way Back movie starring Ben Affleck. I did see The Way Back, and I really only saw that because Ben Affleck was in it, and I really liked it. I did really like it, but I don't really typically enjoy sports movies because, and this is true about that movie as well. They are all mostly the same. So yeah, but I did like that one. I think Ben Affleck did a really good job in it. The Flash versus Green Lantern. I would probably say The Flash, especially if it's Wally West. Yeah, and that's where I spoiled that. Whoops. Haven't either. I won't post TV spots for Doctor Strange. I don't like when people post it. Appreciate it. Hopper or the Demogorgons. Oh, I mean, just in a one-on-one, probably the Demogorgons. I only saw Captain Sad Walk. All right, finally caught up on that. Jesus, I'm so behind, man. This message came in 40 minutes ago. They haven't announced anything on Stargirl renewal yet, but if Discovery canceled it after season 3, I'm going to be extremely mad and would be a waste of potential. I agree. What would I erase from existence? BVS or Flash Armageddon? BVS. And people's comments on Naomi. I love the show. I think it's a great show and storyline. The acting is okay with me. Hopefully one day you give it a chance and watch and review it. Like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm actually glad the optics are so bad for the cancellations. Well, why is that? It's definitely raising a lot of awareness, I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, it's all right, Shay. I can't blame you. It's out there. It's in the public, and I didn't specify it early on, so it is on me that even happened. So don't worry. Have ever watched Gravity Falls? Man, for a Disney show, it was dark. Not Disney Plus show, just a Disney show. It was dark in the last. It lasted 3 seasons, I think. I have not. I know. The rejects are reacting to it right now. I've seen like one of the reactions to it, and I think that's really been it so far. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it, but I've never watched it for myself. Hey, just got here. I'm not surprised the Legends of Batwoman got canceled. It was great until they ran out of ideas. I'm also not surprised either. I'm not shocked in the slightest. By the way, the final season of Ozark is amazing so far. I have 2 episodes left. That's another show I need to check out eventually, is Ozark. Batwoman, I agree on season 1 was the best with the storyline and the plot, but I didn't like Ruby as Batwoman. My only problem. Yeah, had they had, I don't remember her name right now. Whoever they cast to be her in season 2, had they had her from the beginning, I feel like the show could have been like a whole other show. The Flash used a lot of budget this episode. Maybe their budget leveled up. Supposedly they were getting paid more, so maybe their budget was higher this season. Watching Lost in Space, you mentioned that earlier, so we'll move on. Imagine if Moon Knight post-credits is the Egyptian gods being mysteriously killed off. That would be a nice lead-in to Thor Love and Thunder. However, Legends is a show that if you're high, you will definitely enjoy it. I don't even think you have to be high, but definitely being high would definitely probably make your enjoyment of the show even better. Was my Omni was to your week? I don't know what you are asking, Jordan. I have had a chance to see a person with DID reactive to Moon Knight. They are happy with the way DID is being handled. So happy to see this. That's awesome. I've been very curious about that, for sure. The ending of Halloween Kills is one of the most frustrating endings of a movie I've ever experienced. Likewise, I can definitely agree with that. Everybody pray that HBO Max picks them up for final seasons. They said on Twitter. They said on Twitter. I don't know why I said it like that initially. They would bring it up the chain, and people are already voicing it. And who knows? Maybe this is optics, and that's just in the cards to see the reactions, to see how this would go. Considering the CW might be getting canceled, not the CW, it's sold, not canceled. Who knows? HBO could become the new home. I don't know. Might be a pipe dream, but you never know. Just watch Orange is the New Black. Not a great show. I've heard that show is phenomenal, but I've never actually watching it. Not actually watched it. How do you feel about John Krasinski directing Fantastic Four? He is rumored to be directing it. I mean, I think that would be awesome. He's a great director. Just sent you some of the pops I have for Stranger Things. Some are worth a lot, like Gold Hopper. That's like 3,000. Jesus, what the fuck? Oh my gosh. You already sent that one. Let's make a CW Justice League show and done. The budget for that, though, I don't know if they could support it. Thing is, they make their money through having multiple shows. That's why the crossovers and the interconnectivity is what really played a lot of the part into that. They need shows to sell. So if we condense everything into one show, or if we have that run simultaneously to their existing shows, the budget's going to be so inflated for it. It's not going to be worth the cost. It's just not, with the way that the CW is structured and the way they make their money, it's just not viable to just do a Justice League show. While I would love that. I don't know if I asked this, but Trigon versus the Scarlet Witch. I would probably go with the Scarlet Witch, but that would be a pretty crazy fight because Trigon is Stupid powerful. I have never seen Sonic 2. I need to watch it. Go check it out, man. If you are a fan of the games, you will definitely enjoy it. Jonathan versus Miguel. In what context? Give me more. I actually like the recent episodes of both The Flash and Superman and Lois. Returned with solid episodes, especially Superman and Lois. Best moment out of both, Barry running on lightning. I have to agree with that as well. Bro, and the Snyder fools on Twitter think everything revolves around their precious Snyderverse. He was jumping on lightning and constructs and nothing to do with the Snyder Cut. It's mind-numbingly... It hurts my brain seeing some of the correlations that they pull up. Like, they were saying that Moon Knight ripped off the Snyder Cut at the end with Oscar Isaacs in the Field of Reeds. Because there was that shot from the Snyder Cut with Henry Cavill in a cornfield. As if standing in a field with the sun setting or rising was invented by fucking Zack Snyder. Jesus, people. What the hell is wrong with people? What's up, Destroyer X? Cobra Kai never dies. My local YMCA just got decimated by a tornado. I hope you're okay. That's not good. Whew. I hope you're safe. And I hope that anybody that was there, or hope nobody was there, but I hope if anybody was, that they're okay. This doesn't sound promising, though. Moon Knight is the most powerful hand-to-hand combatant in the MCU at this point because of his insane healing abilities and weapon spawning. I'm not sure about that. He's definitely formidable, but I feel like, well, right now maybe, never mind. But if Cap was still alive and in his prime, I would probably say Cap is still probably a better hand-to-hand combatant. And I think Shang-Chi could get, with the rings especially, would definitely be able to handle Moon Knight. But yeah, on his own, probably not. The Flash episode this season has been amazing. Recent episode with some decent cinematography, though. Yes, agreed. The Duffer Brothers, who created Stranger Things, said that after season 4 and 5, after the last season, they will have Stranger Things spin-offs. Really? I didn't hear about that. Yeah, just noticed how far behind I am. Do you think Jonathan would ever run to John Henry Irons to hide behind, since he doesn't have powers and John Henry Irons at least has the suit? I mean, it's possible. It is possible. Velocity X or Red Bull? Red Bull. Speaking of, I have one in the fridge that I can drink. One of the most powerful hand-to-hand combatants. Oh, that's just you correcting. Wait, did I hear Mass Effect? I did mention it a little while ago. I did. Don't get any hopes up, because the chances of me revisiting Persona is probably few and far between. My time slots allotted to covering video games is very, very minimal, and I'm very, very selective right now. But I know Blind Wave is covering Mass Effect right now. Eric is playing through the series, so if you need your fix, Blind Wave's got you covered right now. Are you a basketball sport? I kind of already touched on this with the question on the basketball movie thing with the way back. So, not really. I'd rather play than watch any of it. Sonic 2 is coming out online May 24th. I can't wait. I will be buying it when it comes out. I've been itching to go see that movie again. I thought you were Omni because of Omni-Man. I saw that a lot in the comments after I covered Invincible, but no. It's the Omni aspect goes all back to Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII. My boy Cloud. Which I don't know if you kind of make him out right there with the Buster Sword and the Fenrir. I'm sorry, that's the Hardy Daytona. That's not Fenrir. Mass Effect. Love that trilogy. The fourth game doesn't exist, but severely disappointed we couldn't have a romance with Rex. hook Eve up with our genetically perfect son Grunt. Those are all words. Oh wait, Rex. I think I killed Rex in my playthrough. I didn't kill him, but my actions led him to not survive. If I remember right. If I'm linking the names up right, Hun, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I let Rex get killed in my first playthrough. You did indeed allow Rex to die. You were so mad. I was way too middle of the road. I was trying to be too diplomatic, and my indecision to commit to anything allowed him to die, to not survive the situation. Not my fault. I didn't pull the trigger, so eat shit. Rex got wrecked. Did I see the CinemaCons for... No. I don't get invited to that shit, and it was all private, so... I did see the descriptions that have been released for some of them, and Sony's was hilariously terrible, in my opinion. Aside from the Spider-Verse stuff. The animated Spider-Verse stuff. Everything else was I was not thrilled about. Sony was the WB stuff was more or less what I would have expected. No surprises at all from what I've heard about that so far. Yeah, I meant Superman and the Flash when I said that. That was when you said Superman, Lois, and Batwoman, and I was like, you should react to Danielle Harris's movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a 1991 classic movie. I've never seen that film either. Dishes Are Done. Man, I have never heard of that one at all. A lot of people on Twitter have been saying since this morning that they should cancel Superman and Lois as well and boycotting Gotham Knights, which is just crazy to me. And of course, optics, people are spinning this about the Flash and Superman and Lois being re-upped as some kind of slight against representation. And it's just not the case. I mean, the numbers, the sheer numbers of it all. And I know ratings isn't the whole picture, but we don't know the streaming numbers. We don't know the streaming numbers of any of these shows. What we can go off of is the ratings. And I have said many times that the live ratings, they don't matter. But had the streaming numbers been strong enough, I'm sure those shows would have been saved. I'm sure they wouldn't have been canceled. The true fact of the matter is the Flash and Superman Lois bunk them, completely murder them in numbers in live viewings, and they are the only superhero shows that were in the top 10 most pirated shows in all of television worldwide. Superman, Lois, and The Flash. Season 7 of The Flash. Season 7 of The Flash, which was, in my opinion, pretty fucking awful, was in the top 10 most pirated TV show seasons of last year. So yeah, there is that's a metric you can go off of. How many people want to watch this show is a metric you can go off of. It's just undeniable those shows have much larger audiences, and from a business perspective, and that's all this is a business perspective. That's where their time's going in. And there's still the reports floating around that The Flash is getting canceled. Like, it is going to end. They are discussing ending the show. Whether that's in season 9 is unclear, but the show is coming to an end. It's not going to last 2 more seasons. It's just, unfortunately, it's going to get to actually end on its own terms at this rate. Superman and Lois is still up in the air. There's not an end in sight. And honestly, with the way it's set up at this point, it's going to I think it will probably survive The Flash to the point where it's probably going to be the last Arrowverse show running. And I think as long as it keeps this quality up, I have a strong hunch that even if the CW goes, sinks their ship, I think it might survive elsewhere. And Gotham Knights is a big old question mark, and I've said my piece on the show. I'm not all that sold on my interest for it. It doesn't sound promising to me, but I'll still give it a chance if it does come out. I hope the Diggle show comes to fruition because I love Diggle and that character. And we've seen him on Superman and Lois. He's been the only person to cross over with that show so far. So that would connect those universes, connect Superman and Lois to Justice U, and bam, start a new generation. Stargirl could continue on. It could be a shift in focus. I've heard people mention this as well, them skewing to younger audiences, since Superman and Lois has teens as their primary focus in the show. Stargirl is about teens, and Justice U is about Diggle teaching a bunch of teens to be superheroes. It sounds like there's a shift of perspective that they just could be having, getting away from these older superheroes that they've been following for 10 years now. While for us who've been following it for 10 years, it sucks. It just seems like they're trying to soft reboot their universe in the long run. It is not about this. I'd be hard pressed to find out that it had anything to do with anything other than numbers. Anyway, rant over. They referenced Geoforce in this episode of Young Justice. Well, they've been referencing Geoforce all season long. I mean, they mentioned Brion a lot. Brion is Geoforce this season. My name is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Just got sponsored by the damn Dimsdale Dairy Tree. Gotta go, but see you next week, the day after. At this point, you're probably long gone, but I hope you take care, 60, and I'll see you next week, post Multiverse of Madness. The writer of Superman Lois has indeed been speaking on Legends and Batwoman on Twitter, too. I'm curious to see what some of those are. Daniel Harris was also in Erie, Indiana TV show. One episode, Heart of Cabin, was good, but you should react to it. Daniel Harris also played in The Last Boy Scout. I have not heard of any of that. I have not heard of any of all that. DC had the audacity to promote Legends Earth Prime comic this morning. I mean, they have to. I mean, it's not audacity. They just, maybe they could have held off on the promotion a little bit later, but it's coming out in just a couple of days. So, I mean, it makes sense that they would, and it just sucks. It's bad timing, but it's business. They gotta do what they can. What's up, Ragu? You might never get to this comment. Thoughts on the fan reaction, Norman Reedus, and how quickly they turn. It's stupid. People on the internet are stupid. It is just more people that cannot separate reality from fiction, and it's sad. It's gotten to the point of the other actors having to chime in on the whole situation. AMC themselves having to put out a statement about the fucking fans. It's ridiculous that there's this much, I don't even know what the word is, mix up of reality and fiction going on that's out there. And we see a lot of it in the Arrowverse. We've seen a lot of it, especially if you've been anywhere near the Supergirl fandom. Not it as a whole. I mean, we've dealt with it a lot in The Flash as well with a certain subsect, but yeah, it's delusional. It's scary is what it is. You have people threatening their own lives because of shit that's not in their control whatsoever and putting blame on someone else that has nothing to do with any of this. I don't get it. I don't get it. Do we have square toilets or square food in Bizarro World? Probably. Square pizzas? But we also have square pizzas. But would the standard be a square pizza? That's the question. The internet trolls in the comments. Yeah, yep. Why is it every time you sit still and not do anything, I keep thinking the stream froze or something? Hey, sometimes I just think, and it takes me a minute to gather a thought. Let's see. Damn, I remember my first time here. We were talking about either Snake Eyes or Suicide Squad spoilers, and damn, time flies. I know, that was a while back. But you gotta go. Take it easy, man. See you next weekend. It's okay, Omni. Some people just want to be mean for no reason. Remember, haters want to hate. Some people lift themselves up purely at the expense of trying to drag people beneath them. Legends definitely deserved a final season. Went on too long for them to not be given that. I wholeheartedly agree. And I think that's the most tragic part of it. And the most unfortunate part of it, like I mentioned before, they had a perfect moment they could have ended on in the penultimate episode of the season. But that wasn't planned. But they didn't know. How could they have known? Only if they were told in advance, you know? What's the magic number from No Way Home? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. I hope Miss Marvel will be as good as Moon Knight. I don't have that much of a high expectation about it, but we'll see. Or somewhere on that level, people said that they didn't like Miss Marvel. People are upset about the changes that have been made to Miss Marvel and the tone that the Miss Marvel trailer gave off, that it was too immature. For a show about a child, it's too immature. But most people seem to be pretty upset about her powers being changed. Let's see. Let's see. Can't wait for the next episode of The Flash. How I feel about Eddie's return. I just want to know to what extent this return is going to play off. Is it going to just be a hallucination? We've seen that they have physical contact. Is it going to become anything more? I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious. You should watch Game of Thrones. I'm not into it. Might not be a good show for me to watch. Oh, I loved Game of Thrones. I was obsessed with it. I watched it every weekend as it was coming out. I think for the first 6 seasons, it was flawless. Season 7 and Season 8, not so much. Oh, damn. Rejects wink. Yeah, I saw a pic online of Henry and the actresses of The Witcher indicating it was on set for Witcher 3. So unless that was mistaken, I think Season 3 is a go. I'm in an Omni stream. What's up, Mr. DC Universes? I think I called you out earlier when you came in here. But yeah, welcome. I think it's the first time I've actually seen you in here. Welcome. Which is faster, Flash TV or Flash DC EU? I mean, by sheer... The rules of their universe are completely separate. Like, Barry doesn't have to go light speed or past or beyond light speed to time travel. But Flash can, on TV show, can time travel way easier than Flash on the show. And he can also reverse time. So he can do everything that he can do without breaching light speed. However, I don't think that Barry on the show has ever went faster than light. But the DCEU Flash has. So it's hard to compare the two and their speed because they've achieved pretty much the exact same feats, but at different intervals. Do you think we might get an Amazing Spider-Man 3? Because we saw some YouTubers say that Andrew doesn't want to do Spider-Man, but I don't think that's true. Well, he just made out that post here recently that he's retiring for a little while, that he's taking a break from acting. So it might be true for now. I think it's probably true at this time. And with right now, with the decisions Sony's making, I would much rather Andrew not come back so that he's not coming back, having his comeback tour, and Sony just fucks him over again. I was so upset to hear Legends was canceled because setting up Booster Gold and not getting to at least one more season is just sad. I agree. I'm excited for the next season of Stargirl. I'm excited the show come back. Love those first 2 seasons. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to Stargirl coming back. The first 2 seasons I thought were really, really strong. Heard that Andrew Garfield is taking a small break from acting. Like I said, yes, that came from him, from what I've heard. So, which I actually think, if it keeps him healthy and increases career longevity, is great. I agree with that. What's up, Low Talks? Have I seen you in here before? I don't recognize that name. Welcome. If not, I'm a bit worried for the fan of Moon Knight as well. For me, every Marvel show so far has had a pretty weak last episode compared to the other episodes. Yes, you are not wrong. I agree with that as well. And I'm hoping that Moon Knight breaks that trend, because I've really been loving it so far. But we'll just wait and see. This Wednesday, we'll find out. Also like horror movies in general, but also really, really did not like Halloween Kills. Me too. Do you think what happened to Bizarro will happen to Jonathan because he was taking XK because he had the same symptoms Bizarro had? Maybe. Well, I don't know, because he stopped taking it. Bizarro kept taking it. And Jonathan's only half Kryptonian. So I don't think it's going to be the same thing. If you got a Roblox account, they have Stranger Things game on there, and I play it on. I have not ever played Roblox, so I do not have an account. And yes, you did mean Brolin earlier when talking about the Goonies. I kept wanting to say the Groonies, the Brolinies. How'd you feel if Snyder was given the job to direct Fantastic Four? I think he'd be too restricted to do. I don't know. I mean, I think he could do it, but I just don't know. I feel like he's not a character that would go in very strongly. A director that would fit in very strongly with the MCU's. One is, I would say aesthetic, but we saw a lot of that Snyder inspiration in Eternals. But his tone, I think, is hard to fit in. Which is why I think Chloe Zhao did a really good job at bringing in a lot of Zack Snyder's sentiments while keeping the tone on course for what the MCU is kind of known for. I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing it, but I don't know if Snyder and the Fantastic Four would be a good mix-up. I think something more darker, maybe more supernatural, would be a little more up his alley. Iris gave Dion and Tinya's mom time COVID. Your name suggests trolling already. My name? Huh? Me? Or was this to like one of the messages that got deleted? I'd be really sad if somebody thought I was trolling. I need clarification if you're still here, Jade. I think Snyder could have done a great job with the Punisher if he was given the opportunity. That could work. Oh, okay. That was to the guy that got deleted. Okay. I was like, oh, my heart and soul. What was wrong? What did I do? Heard that John Watts, his idea for the Fantastic Four was a younger Fantastic Four, and I don't think that's what Feige and company wanted. I feel like that would be a little bit more on par for what they would want, right? That's what I would think. Still holding up hope that we get John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. I'd like that. They're my top choices, but I won't be upset if they go with anybody else. What's the hardest, stupidest game I've ever played? I'm torn between the original NES game of TMNT and Marble Madness. Shit. What was that climbing game with you and the pot and the pickaxe? That was really popular for a hot minute on streaming. I'm sure it's still in my library somewhere. Getting Over It. Yes, thank you. You all beat me to it. That. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't have the temperament for that at all. What's a show or movie a lot of people love that you didn't like? For me, it's Squid Game. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, show or movie a lot of people love that I just didn't like. I don't know. Having a hard time thinking of one. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lost me. A lot of people seem to kind of like really enjoy that. But I'm only heard if it's got better from where I stopped watching. But don't know. As far as movies go, I think maybe the closest thing might be Ghostbusters 1, but only because I just don't have. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. I wasn't blown away by it when I saw it. It was never like a huge part of my life or anything of the sort. I don't know. Other than that, I can't really think of anything. If you could wrestle one property away from Disney and give it to someone else, what property, who, and what would be the property and who would it be? Star Wars. I would probably fight Star Wars away from Disney and give it to somebody who would I would probably just give it back to if I could tear away Star Wars and just give it to Dave Filoni, I'd be happy. Never saw Squid Game. Watch Squid Game, man. It's so good. Would love to see. And then check out my reactions to it. I cried a lot. Would love to see an Iron Fist or Shang-Chi team-up movie. That would be fun. That'd be cool. Got my Stranger Things socks last weekend. Hell yeah. This episode of Moon Knight made me get so teary-eyed. Me too. Episode 5 Moon Knight was my favorite episode so far, and Tower was adorable. I agree with both sentiments. Am I going to react to the Stranger Things Season 4 trailer when I'm done with Season 3? Right now, I'm leaning towards probably not, so I can go into Stranger Things Season 4 just completely blank. But, I don't know. Right now, I'm leaning towards no, but I had said yes in the past, so I don't know. My choice could change. Superman or Aang? Superman. Like, that's not a fight. It's not even close to being a fight. Aang can't do anything to him. Nothing. Not a thing. Can't hurt him. Can't move him. Isn't faster than him. Yeah, no. Taro was so expressive and adorable. I know. I loved it. And for somebody that has worked a lot in customer service in my life, the way she like introduced herself and gave off that little speech and talked about everything and had like the paper she was reading through, and then it's like, this wasn't in the guidebook or whatever. We don't have a reading for that. It just like gave me so much like customer service vibes, and I loved it. What if Eddie team up with Deathstorm to fight the Flash? Well, I think he's only here because of Deathstorm. I think Deathstorm has created this illusion of Eddie. I don't know if it's even Eddie himself, but I mean, he's 100% tied to Deathstorm. Easy. They already shot the next season of Stargirl already. The main star has been posting stuff on their social. Yes, and yeah, I saw a sneak peek from... Shit, what's his name? I'm blanking on the actor's name right now. The guy that plays Rick. Our Man posting a shot of him and I think a stunt double or something. What makes it worse is, for me, they did 3 terrible news regarding DC dropped in just 2 days before Your All's Christmas. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Literally a week after 1 year death anniversary of my grandmother. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for all that bad news in one streak. On top of it already being a hard time for you. Welcome back, Chance. Thank God we live in a time where Amy Schumer isn't Barbie. Yes. Agreed. Disney is actually making a lot of animated shows that are very creepy and dark. Their Owl House got pretty dark. Of course, Disney is trying to shaft it too. I hope they don't. I haven't watched a lot of it, but it's a cute show. Really love the Flash this season. Flash has leveled up. Owl House is cute. I need to catch back up with it. Yeah, just any times I would kind of walk in and you were watching it, I don't know. I liked what I watched, but I haven't sat down and actually watched, all of it through. So I'm curious. How's my week? Oh, it's been all right. This week hasn't been too bad, to be honest. you think Wanda's takeover of Westview is equivalent of Katara's bloodbending in Avatar? I don't know why, but I think the bloodbending is so much more horrifying. I think it's more visually horrifying, but I think what Wanda did in Westview is more... what's the right word? Malicious. I think it's a lot more malicious than what Katara's bloodbending is. They make budgets for Stranger Things Netflix. What? Trying to find if there was some part of this conversation that I'm missing on what that would... Stranger Things sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what that... Who's they and they make budgets for Stranger Things on Netflix? I don't know what you mean. What have I missed so far? Not too much. I love Dion Owens. Me too. I need to watch The Flash on Netflix. I've heard of it. The first 3 seasons, I think, are really good. And then from there, it's a little mixed. For sure. The minute in The Flash, they mentioned the thing was feeding on grief, my brain went to Blackest Night. It took me a minute. It literally took until Allegra said that Blackest Night name drop that I thought about it. Darkseid versus the Speed Force. Darkseid. Just notice how far behind he is. Yeah, I'm pretty far behind. I'm catching up, though. I'm like under 30 minutes behind now. I think Moon Knight would kick Shang-Chi's ass, even with the rings, because of Khonshu's Moon Knight is basically Wolverine Deadpool with healing factor. But we haven't seen him do anything that impressive. Like, he can just punch people. He got overwhelmed by a bunch of dudes with spears. Shang-Chi would have fucked those dudes up without hesitation. Yeah, I don't think in a fight, no. Whether he heals or not doesn't matter. He's not going to beat Shang-Chi right now if he's got the rings. Not by what we've seen. Snyder Cut ripped off Field of Dreams. Did Cornfields first. I'm sure Field of Dreams probably ripped that off from somewhere. It's all an homage, man. Everything is an homage to something. People act like Snyder invented cinema. What's my favorite dessert? As of late, probably an Oreo Blizzard has probably been one of my favorites. Damn you! What was that in reference to? Was that into my Mass Effect thing when I was like talking about, well, if you need your Mass Effect fix, go talk over them Bindwave. I think that's probably what that was. I remember seeing that pop up after I made that comment over here. Because here's the up-to-date chat on this side, and then here is the chat I'm reading from. Oh, shit. What's my overall thoughts on the Halo show? Sloppy. But when it's focused, it's okay. It's interesting. I think I actually mentioned this earlier in the stream, actually, but I can't remember now. Anyway, I like when it's focused on pretty much everybody on Reach. Whether it be Chief, Kai, Miranda, Jacob, Halsey, or just anybody there. Except for their uppers, those weird trio who's just like, let us cancel your Spartan project. Oh, snob. No, like, fuck them. Anytime we're with them, I'm on board. I'm invested. It's not the story I know. It still confuses me, but I'm curious and I care about I feel the characters, the performances. The second Quan shows up, I literally have a brain aneurysm. So far, we've had very little Quan in the last 2 episodes, so I've been very happy. And this isn't her fault. It's just she's just pointless to this story so far. And I know they'll wrap her in some way, but they're adding some very unnecessary lore to the universe that's only making it convoluted. So I'm not all that thrilled in the direction that that's going. But the longer we stay away from it, which I have a strong feeling this next episode is probably just going to be dedicated to what's happening on Madrigal. When we're away from it, I'm enjoying the show. Episode 2 has easily been the weakest of the episodes. Episode 2, I think, was the weakest one. And yo, what's up? You are gone. Oh wow, I think we all clicked on it at the same time. I saw that immediately. But yeah, it's okay when it's focused on what the story is actually about, even with some of their changes. Moon Knight walks straight into spears. I love seeing that because in the comics, Taskmaster would never copy Moon Knight because he would straight take fatal blows. That is a good point. At least. Thoughts on Chester? I like Chester. I wish he kind of still had his powers. It would be very convenient right now if he did. I still don't remember them actually removing his powers. I thought they just dampened him so he could control it. And yes, okay, I finally caught up to this. I did allow Rex to die. Yes, I killed Rex. Yes, you got mad at me for it. Darkseid, I was like, you made me feel so bad about it. I almost went back and reloaded my save, but I was just like, I gotta commit to my choices. Darkseid versus Wally West in a Mobius chair. Ooh, I don't know, man. Darkseid exists outside of the primary dimension, so I don't know. I feel like Wally might be able to, but in that situation, but I don't think so. I still think Darkseid might. Even if Wally was able to defeat his avatar in the physical world, he still can't kill Darkseid. So at the end of the day, he might win the fight, but he can't truly defeat Darkseid. No one can truly kill Darkseid, sadly. My dude, Rex is the best Krogan. Well, he's the deadest Krogan in my game. My actions lead to him to, how they say, not survive. Sounds like killing. Yeah, I saw that earlier. Does anyone like horror games? I like Resident Evil. I think that's really the only horror series that I actually really enjoy. Other than, like, Alien Isolation was also really good. But yeah, I like some horror games. I hope they make another Toy Story movie. I'm pretty sure they already announced a Toy Story 5 was in the works. Love horror games. Rex is ride or die. His brother who takes over is so awful. Oh, the consequences you will face. On a non-Arrowverse related note, love the episodes thus far and hugely concerned about them not doing a season 2 and only having one episode rumored to be shot and wrap everything up concerning. Oh, are we talking about Moon Knight? What are we talking about, Adi? Gotham Knights. The idea of this show sounds horrible. I don't like I don't like that storyline. They did it in the comics. I don't like that storyline as pitched in the video game that we've seen so far, and I don't like that idea as they're pitching it in the show. But we'll know. We'll see. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a fair chance. We don't know the streaming numbers, the pirated numbers, or the numbers post-airing after episode. Exactly. This is why so much of this is speculation. But tensions are high, emotions are high, and I get it. But I guess I've been waiting for this news for a while. I've been expecting this news for a while, so I'm not like, I'm sad, I'm melancholic about it, but I'm not losing my mind over it. I'm sure a lot of people had themselves convinced that this wasn't going away, and that's probably part of the problem. But we'll see. I want them to make Stranger Things video game. I don't even know how that would play. Sorry, it couldn't be a part of the chat today. I will be for sure in the one next week, though. Good night. Take care. Well, good night, Mitzi. Thanks for stopping in at least and dropping a line in the chat, even though I am 30 minutes late to getting to this comment. I think Catagraphs had to go for Eric's after party. Ah. Okay. So I probably lost him at this point. Hope Gotham Knights and Diggle shows get picked up. I do too, but we'll just have to wait and see. You know, they could make a Meteor Sky High series taking into account the mental toll of superheroism and the intergenerational trauma in school politics while also be focusing on personal growth. That would be really cool. I'd be down with that. Have I seen Godzilla vs. Kong? Quite a few times. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. It's one of the oldest franchise I've been a fan of, going back to when I was like 4 or 5. I've seen every single Godzilla film except for Shin Godzilla. But I'll get to it. I'll get to it eventually. That's the only one I haven't seen so far. And I have a review for Godzilla vs. Kong on the channel if you want to see it. My thoughts on that film specifically. In Superman and Lois, besides the constant of who Superman's family was, the one constant, John can't pick a good girlfriend to save his life. Like, boy, you can't fix other people. You can only save yourself. You are right on the point with that, Summer. How about watch The Fairly Odd Parents? Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. Watched the shit out of that show growing up. I agree. I think Superman and Lois will be the last standing Arrowverse show. Jonathan and Jordan growing into heroes gives it longevity. Exactly. I think it's got more legs because of the setup. Have I seen iCarly? Yes, I have. I have not seen the new iCarly, though. When am I going to watch Doctor Strange? I'm seeing it May 4th here in Germany. I'm so excited to watch the Avatar 2 trailer at that showing. Are they showing an Avatar 2 trailer at Doctor Strange? Man, it's going to suck seeing that before it actually drops on the internet. Then again, it might spare the internet any of my frustrations with James Cameron and Avatar 1. So we'll see. But I'll be seeing it May 5th because that's the earliest showings on my side of the pond. And I'll be seeing it at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which is the very first showing in my area for Doctor Strange. So, what's up, Donick? I'd love to see Melissa show up on an episode of Superman and Lois since John Actor said he wants to hang out with his Aunt Kara. The funny thing is, in that very same interview, he said mostly not because he's a fan of Supergirl, but because he's got a huge crush on Melissa Benoist. So, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Favorite food ever? Probably pizza. Pepperoni pizza. Can I do that? Am I allowed to do an Italian accent? I did. Sue me. Are they going to send off Jordan and Jonathan to Justice U? I don't know, man. They still got a little... They're 15, so I don't know. Depends on what the age requirements are for it to get brought into it. I doubt they'll leave the show. They're not going to go away from Superman and Lois, but I think that'll allow them to have other people they can connect to in the superhero sphere, assuming Jonathan gets powers at some point. Do you think Moon Knight will be on Netflix? No. No. Nope. Nope. Incorrect. Probably not. Unless it's in an area that doesn't have Disney Plus, it'll be on Hulu maybe, but never on Netflix. It's a Disney Plus exclusive show, man. Have you seen You Know What on the flash set photos, if you know what I mean? I have seen pretty much all of the set photos that have been floating around up to this point, so yes. And I'm not surprised. But I don't know the context surrounding it, and I'm looking forward to it. Mario movie plot allegedly leaked, and it's surprising, especially the ending. I'll steer away from that. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But I hadn't heard anything about it. All I heard that the release date was pushed back. Recent Remainder episodes trailer for Superman and Lois. It's family members, especially Kent's, arguing. However, knowing the show, I can expect them to do great with a family discussion of Clark, Lois, and the boys. When you said the way you capitalized the boys, I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Billy Butcher? But I know what you meant. Yeah, man, they've handled these family dramas really well. It's such a healthy family dynamic given everything they've been through. So I have to believe they'll end it on a good note. Heard not that long ago, Amber Heard's screen time for Aquaman was in only 10 minutes. Thank God. I've heard that floating around. I don't know if it's confirmed or backed up or just reported, but yeah, I've heard that as well. Do you wish they make Stranger Things Charlie Brown? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Excited to see Doctor Strange 2. Hope it'll be a good movie. I like the first one. That's going to be very different from the first one, but I did like the first one as well. I'm really looking forward to it. Especially since it concerns his argument that they should keep their secret identities versus saying out loud. Avengers Endgame was a great movie, but sad. Yes. Do you think Strange is going to get some stone back? Get the stone back in Multiverse of Madness? I doubt it, but you never know. I'm excited to see more Stranger Things Season 3 reactions on your channel. We'll wait for this Friday. We'll have more for you. CW should just give the characters to HBO to make the series. That's not how this works, but they'd be safer there. So Omni, are the toilets upside down in the Bizarro world? I don't know. If I was an actor, which movies would I want to be in? What movies would I make? I'd love to be in like a Kevin Smith flick, or maybe something in the Marvel universe. I don't know. That's probably what I would do. I mean, I'm a DC person through and through. I'd definitely show up on a CW show, that's for sure. But I trust Marvel a little bit more with handling certain things, so I feel like it'd be more comfortable over there. But I don't know. That's just where I am. I don't think about that stuff that much. Been watching your Doctor Strange, your Stranger Things reactions instead of rewatching the show before the new season. Did you catch the significance of the blue bracelet in season 2 finale? Blue bracelet. Blue bracelet. Hold on, real quick. Nothing immediately is coming to mind. Oh, that bracelet. I didn't pick up on it, but I do now. They were referencing the message that was deleted. Okay. And okay, that's where I was asking about the comment from Jade. Okay, so we're catching up again. God, man. Oh, David Harbour, who plays Hopper in Stranger Things, he was a great Hellboy. Great movie. Love that movie. I never saw the David Harbour Hellboy. Have I seen Hellraiser? I have. Just the first one and I think the third one. Other than that, I'm not a huge Hellraiser fan. Getting over it. Great. A new Multiverse of Madness clip came out today. Great, great, great. You think Red Guardian could ever show up in the MCU again? Oh, sure. If Daddy likes the metal, does he also like thunder? Maybe this question will get answered in Thor: Love and Thunder. We'll see. You like Boy Meets World? I loved Boy Meets World. I've not watched Girl Meets World. Speaking of Ghostbusters, I see that Sony announced a sequel to Afterlife. Yes. And I'm looking forward to it. I liked Afterlife quite a bit. Maybe Aang could take his powers away. How? They're not tied to a spiritual gift from a lion turtle. He can't bend his powers away. He's not a bender. Yeah, he'd have to hold him too, for that matter. He's got to hold him down to even be able to do that, and he can't. He can't. He just can't. What's my most anticipated show right now? Since Ozark just ended, mine's The Boys Season 3. Ozark, I should watch it. I don't know, man. I'll get to it at one point or another, but The Boys. Actually, no. Even more so The Boys. I think my most anticipated show right now is Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Visually, Ghost Rider would look amazing if Snyder was in charge. Agreed. I think Ghost Rider would be a great fit for Snyder. Also, Midnight Suns movie by Snyder would go hard. Also agree with that. I don't like, one thing I don't like is Caesar Strange. 2 is Billy's dad. He's not a nice man. He was mean to Billy. See, I've talked about that in my reactions. I'm not going to go into it now because it'd be a lengthy conversation. I need to catch up on these chats. So check out my reactions on that. I don't think we got enough context for that relationship to judge it. Flash, wasted. Reverse Flash, big time. I definitely don't agree. Like, if you mean recently, sure. But they used it to perfection in the early seasons of the show. I only just watched Aquaman, great movie. Watched the Catwoman with Halle Berry, and it was boring. My heart goes out to you for sitting through that movie. It is awful. And not at all a Catwoman movie. Aquaman is dumb, but it's a lot of fun. Do I like Full House better or Fuller House? Somebody has asked this to me before. I don't really have a preference. I was never a Full House watcher. So neither really mean much to me at all. Catwoman was hard to get through in the end. Just stopped. Stopped at the part where Halle Berry was fighting the cop in the theater. Oh, you didn't make it through, so good job. Imagine if Aang had blood, metal, and lightning bending. He would be the most powerful avatar. I mean, he can lightning bend. Because that's not exclusive. That's not like something only some people can do. Lightning bending is learnable by any firebender. It's not like metal bending or blood. I mean, he could blood bend if he wanted to, but he probably just stays away from him. Aang just spiritually could not blood bend if he wanted to. One of the criticisms of Moon Knight I have is the fact that he ignored his struggle with his religion, considering he is a Jewish man enslaved by an Egyptian god. Comics does a really good job at that. You know, I haven't even considered that bit. That is a good point. They've definitely not touched on that whatsoever, aside from him wearing the Star of David and him going to that I forget what they actually call it, but the wake, their mourning ceremony for his mother. They haven't really touched on it at all. Does see Candace crying over the finished filming of the Flash, saying goodbye to Iris. Do you think that was for the season or for good? I think that was for the season. Unless Iris dies this season, which I doubt. I think that was just a goodbye. And I didn't think she looked like she was crying. I thought she looked like she was just wiping makeup off her face. It didn't look like to me she had been crying, but what do I know? I don't know much. I don't know why you're laughing. At this point, it's been 30 minutes. I've probably forgotten what was going on at the time this message even came in. Winona Ryder, I hear, is the mom in Stranger Things. She is a mom in Stranger Things and one of the main characters. Something's wrong. Dion Owens, 2022. Do you think that has... who do you think has the best character development in the first 2 seasons of Stargirl? Character development. Hello. I don't know. Tough. I don't know. Maybe Rick, I think. It's a tough one. They've all had a pretty decent amount of character development. But none of them have had like a none of them have had like a substantial amount of character development. I think if we're talking from beginning of season 1 to end of season 2, I think Courtney probably has the most growth. I don't know. It's hard to tell. In the real world, if someone got in a freak accident, somehow developed superpowers, how do you think the world would react? With fear, for sure. Stranger Things season 4 going to be an hour long than 3 seasons. That sentence needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Yes, again, I don't remember the context at this point. Would you want to go to Baskin Robbins for ice cream or get ice cream myself? I've actually never been to a Baskin Robbins. But I also don't know what you mean by get ice cream myself. You mean like just go to the store and get ice cream? That usually never ends well for me. I never remember what brand I actually like. So half the time, whatever I end up buying, statistically, I always get the one I don't like. I really need to write down that shit sometimes. I don't know if this counts as a dessert, but every birthday I always have monkey bread. I don't know if that counts. I have had monkey bread before, but I don't know if that would count. It's not a traditional dessert, but I think technically anything you have exclusively after you finish your primary course could be considered a dessert, right? Or does it have to be sweet? What are the rules? I can't believe I got canceled. Why did they get canceled? I've spent too much time talking about this. Rewatch the stream. Moon Knight struggled with the dudes at the Anton Mogurt's place, and because of Steven's interference, he was fucked up in those dudes before that and was not getting hit at all. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know about that. Regardless, Shang-Chi's on another level. I just wonder what it would be like for Bucky and Shang-Chi to hang out. I mean, Bucky's fought aliens beside a talking raccoon. He'd be thrilled to fight a dragon. Sarcasm. That would be interesting. Miss Bob Saget on Full House, actor in Fuller House 2. Ride the Lightning, seem good. I agree. Confirmed. Deleting shit off of the actual YouTube chat does not remove it from StreamYard. Go team. Sounds good. You think we'll ever get an Injustice 3? I think we will probably get one eventually. What is the most powerful Iron Man? Oh, fuck. I forget what it's called. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the silver, pure silver suit. I don't remember what it's actually called in the comics. But yeah, it's pretty fucking busted. Oh, in the MCU? The Endgame one. The last one we saw. That one. What's your favorite about this episode of The Flash? Oh, it was easily the Ride the Lightning moment. Cameron Gelman is the actor for Rick from Stargirl. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was getting confused. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He sent me a really nice DM for some fan art I did, and as did Angelica, Beth, and Hunter Cameron. So I like that cast. We'll watch to the end. I will watch Stargirl to the end as well, and that's cool. That is cool. I've gotten, as far as talking to any DC cast, I've gotten, like, replies from some of the Batwoman cast. I've got plenty of likes from Katniss Johnson on a lot of tweets. And I had a minor back and forth a few times with John Wesley Shipp on The Flash, which was really cool. In response to it initiated because he replied to me sharing the excerpt of his Flash passing in Crisis and my reaction to that, and he commented on it, and we had a little back and forth there for a minute, and it was nice. I cried just because he responded, because I watched that his Flash when I was a kid. I love the fact that he integrated Moon Knight taking fatal blows into his trauma. Mark says that he intentionally takes hits because of his suicidal tendencies, but because his healing abilities, he can't die, so he sees it as a curse. Meant the final episode of Moon Knight is apparently shorter than all the previous episodes. If so, how the actually hell will they wrap up everything in one episode? No idea. The stream is trash. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Owl House is supposed to have 3 specials instead of the 3rd season. But from what I heard, which means the writers had to adjust. Some people suspect it's because of the LGBT dark and the darkness, but who knows. Hope Grodd comes back for revenge and tries to take Barry's speed like in the comics. I mean, they're on good terms right now, right? LGBT plus, or is it because it's dark? Okay, that's what you were trying to say. Yeah, I could. It could be a mix of both. Given right now with what's going on and the stuff Disney's got themselves into, they definitely should kind of backtrack on that, regardless. So, I think me and you were a little harsh on Candace on Superman and Lois. Yeah, a little. A little. Yeah, for sure. Can't wait for episode 15 of The Flash. Me either. The kid from The Incredibles first movie was totally wicked. Berlanti, Helbing, Wallace, and Johns are working with the writers and actors of Legends of Batwoman on a crossover that properly ends their stories. Is there a source for that? If that is true, I'll feel a lot better. Oh my god, you're doing the Italian as long as you don't do the Amunet voice. I don't know what the Amunet voice specifically would be. Haven't seen Game of Thrones. It's really good. I have a hard time recommending it anymore because I think the final season ruins it. But I had the journey of a lifetime watching the first 7 seasons. 6, I think, were just 10 out of 10 all the way through. And the final 2 seasons kind of started to take a huge dip. And the ending completely nullifies a lot of the journey. But who knows? It could be completely different if somebody's just watching it straight through. So, I don't know. It's hard. I have some really mixed and strong feelings about Game of Thrones. It's still in my top 10 shows of all time because of the memories that I have with it. But, yeah, it's rough. It's tough. Maybe they're meaning Charlie Brown's Charlie Brown show. Stranger Things-esque Charlie Brown show. I still don't know what the fuck that would mean or look like. Gotta go. It's been fun, Omni. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping in, Meme Master. I'll see you all next time, man. What's up, Morbos? If Superman, CW Superman Clark represents hope, maybe Lois determination, Natalie and ingenuity. She is a bigger brain than her dad. What do you think about Jonathan and Jordan represent? I think Jonathan might be integrity, and I think Jordan might be perseverance. If I had to quickly think about it. With Johnny Depp, recent victory over... It's not over. There's still 6 days of court left. He can do Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Well, he said also in the trial that he will never work with Disney again. So that won't happen, sadly. Do you think the Batgirl movie will actually switch to theatrical? I think they already... Well, I don't know if they haven't confirmed it, but they're talking about it. So I think it's likely. I'm already looking forward to Multiverse of Madness because the first Doctor Strange movie was the one that got me interested in the MCU. Well, awesome. I really, really do love the first Doctor Strange movie. And I just love Benedict Cumberbatch in general. So that was a huge draw for me. Left a comment on that video. I'll have to go check it out. Instead of the El Muerte movie, Sony should have given a Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir movie. That would have been amazing. They have so many amazing characters under them. And then they do this. A character that's only been in 2 comics. It's ridiculous, man. Apparently, Walter Hamada wanted to recast Mira in an out-of-court testimony. I'm pretty sure that was in court. He talked about... he had to testify in court, I thought. Or was it an out-of-court testimony that was submitted to the court? It came up in the hearing, regardless. But yeah, he did talk about them not really wanting to have her on there. If I remember right, though, from the testimony, it had nothing to do with fan pressure, because fan pressure wanted her gone. I think there was pressure from Herd and Herd's fans that put like a dampen on things. But I don't remember the specifics of it. Whatever it did not look good for, I was going to say Mira, for Amber. I think Omni would make an X-Files series, retcon the recap stuff, and give us a proper ending. Yes. As much as I love... Oh my god, as much as I love Chris Carter and what he created, he fucking ran that shit into the ground by trying to be smarter than he is and trying to modernize a show that really didn't need modernizing. And fucked up their lore. Yeah, I would love to redo that. You have failed these comments. You are late. Shadow versus Chillblane. Chill lame, as you say. Shadow. Too long, don't read. That it was Hopper's daughter's bracelet, and he wore it for 2 seasons, but gave it to Eleven after officially adopting her. Do you think the Flash will visit Catwoman 2000? I highly, highly doubt that. It would be great to see that universe again and catch up with the Halle Berry Catwoman. I would love to never go back to that. It'd be crazy if we ever got a Ben Affleck Daredevil in the MCU. That would be hilarious, and I would love to see it. What's my favorite DC TV show? Arrow. Arrow. There's a comic book. There's a comic book of Batwoman and Legends. Yes, there is currently. Wait, Omn1 lightning bended? I just saw him reflect lightning. Well, I mean, like, through his age. Like, he's a firebender. All firebenders can learn to lightning bend. He can learn to lightning bend. I don't know that we've seen him lightning bend. Definitely not in the show. 100% not in the show. He hasn't. But I mean, as an adult, God knows what he's done. I'm sure he can lightning bend, because it's not like a metal bending thing where you have to be predispositioned for it. She got tired of the heating bed. Well, she's just kind of curled up right here now. Doesn't love mama anymore. And they're back. Anyway. Good night, everyone. See you next chat, reaction, comment section. See you later, Adi. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. I'm going to leave for a little while because I don't want to miss the after party, but you're still streaming and stuck on comments. I'll be back. I'm trying to wrap up so I can eat dinner. How's my day so far? It has primarily been this stream so far, but it's been good. It's my favorite episode of The Flash this season. Probably the second to last episode of Armageddon. If WB is screwing over Henry Cavill, I hope Kevin Feige calls him over to the MCU and shows him how it's done. I'd be down for that. Who's my favorite villain of The Flash? Reverse Flash. The only 6 more days till Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Yes, indeed. Baskin Robbins always knows. Did you ever catch these? So I thought I'd drop in and say, hey, what's up, Dr. Watson? Hope Sherlock's doing all right without you for the time being. Love your channel. So good. Well, thank you. I think I'm in a minority, but I'm excited for The Boys. I'm more excited for The Boys Season 3 over Obi-Wan because I know The Boys Season 2 is going to give us fire. While I'm hoping Obi-Wan will be. I can feel you there. But I don't know. I'm hoping beyond rationale. Or not that it's going to be really good. Do you know who Candid Graphs is? I mean, I've talked to him before. I don't know him personally, other than through chats and social media. And obviously, he's a well-known figure in the covering of CW content, or really anything filmed in Vancouver. But yeah, man. Zod will fight Michael Keaton. Batman the Flash movie is exciting. However, I'm scared for my favorite and best Batman. I'm not looking forward to this Flash. After every new thing I hear about the movie just makes me more and more concerned. Apparently at CinemaCon, they showed the scene from John Wick 4, and it's just Keanu kicking ass with nunchucks. Fuck yeah. Can't wait for John Wick 4, man. I love that franchise. You know, I hate this. I hear from Ping Pong Flicks that J.J. Abrams' Superman movie will be the Golden Age Superman. He won't use X-ray vision. He can't fly. He can only run at Mach 6. Also, he will be nerfed. Well, I mean, by definition, what you just described was him being nerfed. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. From everything I've heard, the J.J. Abrams Superman movie hasn't even got a script yet. I want to see Obi-Wan. Me too. It's my favorite Superman. Mine is Christopher Reeves. It used to be Christopher Reeves. It is currently Tyler Hoechlin. I wonder if Stargirl will ever cross over with any of the Arrowverse shows left, because I remember hearing the Stargirl is in a crossover, and then sad that it was in comics. I want it on screen. I think if they have a high chance of it, it would be with, at this point, The Flash. I've seen The Turning. Scary movie. Finn Wolfhard is in that movie. I have to echo the sentiments in this comment right here. The Turning was trash. I did not like that movie, and I thought Finn was terrible in it. And he's a good actor, but he was awful in that movie. When I watch Stranger Things, Murray Bowman is a great character. I don't know that name coming off the top of my head. You think John Zara will head to Smallville High to screw things up for Jonathan since, villain? I doubt it. It just depends on if they're able to catch him or if he gets away before Clark can get up. Or if he succeeds and he's already merged with Jonathan. I don't know. I discovered you through your Attack on Titan reactions. Do you plan on reacting to more anime? I'd recommend checking out Hunter x Hunter and feel like you'd enjoy it a lot. I don't know. I'm scared of reacting to anime. Honestly, I was really nervous about doing Attack on Titan because it's so dangerous to a lot of channels. But Attack on Titan, I watched a lot of it I've watched all of it up to this point on my own, and there's so many what the fuck moments. I'm just like, I have to share some of these because this show is insane. But I don't know. Expanding beyond that, I'm not sure yet. Hold up. First 3 episodes of Game of Thrones Season 6 were solid. It's the last 3 that went up in flames, literally. And figuratively. Yeah. Hope Susie in Stranger Things 3. Hope she is a real character. We'll find out. What went wrong with the DCEU shows? Why did Supergirl's quality go way down? Budget cuts. Shitty writers. Great actors, though. Great performers on that show. They just did not have good material. I love everybody on that, in that cast. They're all great. They're all phenomenal. They all did the best they could with what they had. But yeah, I don't know. Amber unfollowing Aquaman and Jason Momoa's Instas was interesting. It got noticed, so she refollowed. Jason responded by following Depp. Yeah, I remember hearing about all that. Do I have a fond memory of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Everyone talks about Goosebumps, but I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark more. I was a Goosebumps person. I preferred Goosebumps. I can tell you, I did watch some of Are You Afraid of the Dark, but unfortunately, none of it, I can't recall a single moment from the show. I'm glad The Flash is the longest running Arrowverse show. Congrats. It deserves it, I think. What's my favorite anime? Naruto. Naruto? For sure. I've seen Goosebumps. If you could interview any other YouTubers, who would it be? Blind Wave. And I'd love to go in deep with Greg and John over at Real Rejects, I think. Chris Stuckman would be a fun one to interview. Doug Walker would be a fun one to interview. I think those are my top picks. If Affleck Daredevil meets MCU Daredevil, I want MCU Daredevil to call him out on how squeaky that leather is. That would be hilarious. General thoughts on what to expect from Doctor Strange 2 or potential end credits? I have no idea. None. Are you excited for Ant-Man 3? I'm excited to see Scott get mollywopped by Kang. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm looking forward to it. Have I seen the movie Old, 2021? Yes, I did. Also, very, very not great movie. But I did see it in theaters. I have a review on the channel for Old. It was okay. It wasn't awful. It wasn't good in my tastes. But I have seen it. I gotta go. Can't say. Helping my mom with the sink. See you next Saturday. See you next Saturday, Donick. Have fun with the sink. Keanu Reeves is too dangerous already. He needs to be stopped teaching. Get him new weapons. Not that they would use them, but it's the sweetest man alive. Yeah. I love it, though. Takes it so... He's so committed to it. Flash is leveled up. Please, please, please. There's no more need to nerf Superman, make him weaker. But my friends are all saying Superman needs to be nerfed. Yeah, I don't think he needs to be nerfed at all. You think White Canary will guest star on The Flash now since the show's canceled? Probably. You think Kang will be a post-credit scene for Multiverse of Madness? Maybe. Bruh. At the end of it, Aang could literally remove someone's bending. No way he hasn't learned it. I need season 4, honestly, like what happened to Zuko's mom and sister. I know there are comics. Yeah, it's all already canonized in the comics, but I'd like to see it animated. May the Speed Force be with you. Have I seen Back to the Future? Well, I know it's hard to tell, but Back to the Future poster right there. I wish we went back to the past so I could go back and watch 2016 Stranger Things first came out. I wish if I went to the Back to the Past, the first thing I would do is make my channel sooner. I really love Deathstorm. Me too. Have I met Grant Gustin? Hell no, but I would love to. Mara getting cut for Aquaman 2 is stupid. Why? Why is it stupid? I think she needs to be recast. Not cut, but yeah. Do you think anyone is going to have an Arya Stark tell them winter came for House Frey moment again? I really don't think so. I think we're at the end of the line for that one. But I would love it. That was a great, great fucking moment. I've seen Goosebumps. Go in deep. I don't remember what triggered me to say that. Are they making another Venom movie? I think so. I don't know that it's been announced, but I'm pretty sure there is. Imagine if Jake Lockley shows up in another MCU movie randomly as a cab driver for another character. That would be weird. Interesting, though. I get it with the amount of shows and movies you watch. Even watching more 3 animes will make you curious about other animes, and then you can't stop. I mean, I used to watch a shit ton of anime. I mean, I've got a bunch of anime shit up here, which I know it's out of focus for you guys because of the camera and the field of depth, but yeah, I have a lot of anime that I love, but Attack on Titans is the only current anime that I'm watching. What future episodes of The Flash am I looking forward to? None specifically because I don't know what they're about. Okay, I don't know what it's about, so I can't say. Murray is a character in season 2. Nancy and Jonathan went to. Oh, I forgot his name. Okay, the conspiracy guy. Okay, I gotcha. Fair enough. Mine, I think, is the X-Men who's going to begin appearing at the end of Doctor Strange 2, but I don't think so. I hope we get more of that. Fear the Dark's theme song is way scarier than Goosebumps, but is it catchier? Like, it's the theme song that gives me goosebumps. I was legitimately afraid of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps I always had fun with, so that's why I watched Goosebumps. If I went back to the past, I'd pick a different college major and avoid grad school. I probably would just not have went to college. I wouldn't have, I'm not going to say how much, but way too much debt than I should have for the degree I got. But I finished college. Fucking propaganda. I love the David and Jillian water pistol fight you posted on Twitter. I'm a day one fan of the X-Files and had never seen that. Funny how they said they didn't get along well. Yeah, it's crazy. They did not like each other in the early seasons, but they've become inseparable friends to the point where I'm pretty sure their friendship threatened some of their relationships. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I love them, dude. There's a lot of fun behind the scenes stuff between those two in the later seasons for sure. I think Amber Heard was a great Mara. I think she's a fine Mara. She's just a trash human being. And if Johnny Depp's going to get blacklisted, it needs to be no double standards. It needs to be it needs to happen to both. I would love to see Mark Spector interact with Matt Murdock. I would dig that as well. Do you think there will be a sequel of The Batman? Oh, I mean, it just got announced the other day. Yeah. They already said it. It's coming. I think Amber Heard is a horrible person. 100%. Yeah. Justice for Johnny. Justice for Johnny as well. And I'm caught up. There's a couple of things that have not loaded in over here, but we'll get to that. We'll clear it out. And I am going to have to wrap this stream up. We've run over. It's time to eat. I have not eaten. The only thing I've been putting in my stomach has been a little drop of water and mostly this wine. Who's a fan cast for Nova? I really don't have one because I really am not familiar with Nova at all. So I can't really give a good or accurate one right there. Right there with you, Jesus. JFC. The college is only the true path propaganda. I I'm doing just fine. Like, I'm doing really well with no degree. Not saying that it's going to be the same thing for everybody, obviously. Certain things are going to require degrees, but thankfully, because I fell into IT, it's more cert-based, which I actually don't have any certs, but I have, like, the experience on hand to get me into positions that really help me out in the long run. College is just not the only way to go. It is what we are sold early on, and it is awful. And especially, it's just getting worse and worse, man. It's crazy. I'm not going to preach about it because I'm qualified, but it depends on really what you want to do at the end of the day. And I didn't make the best choice. What are my thoughts on what will happen in the next Spider-Man movie? I have no fucking clue. Thoughts on Bart? I love Bart. Love Bart. Jordan Fisher is funny. What's my opinion of the Fox X-Men movies? They hold a special place in my heart, even the later ones. Apocalypse plus John Ottman's X-Men theme. I like them. I really love the first X-Men movie. I really love the second one. I have very mixed feelings, as many do, about Last Stand. And I like the First Class movies. Even Apocalypse. I wouldn't say I love Apocalypse, but I like Apocalypse. It's not bad. It's not the best one. But I like First Class. I like Days of Future Past, which is easily my favorite one, but I don't think that's a hot take of me to say. I haven't seen The Wolverine. However, Wolverine Origins was a joke. But yeah, they hold a really soft spot in my heart, man. They really do. They really do. I mean, they were some of the first superhero movies to ever come out. Did I catch them on the chat? Yes. Yes, I did. Damn, got back too late. Crushes of Daniel Harris from Halloween Fun. You said that earlier. What? I know somebody has asked me this before, but I don't know if it was you. I feel like somebody asked me this last weekend also. But it's my Darth Revan pop. Do you think Bucky stayed with Sam's sister at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier series? Maybe. So do you think Mira will be cut from Aquaman 2? I mean, if she's only got 10 minutes of screen time, unless there's some really important 10 minutes of screen time, I think depending on how this trial goes, I think she might. Are you going to do a game stream today? I don't know. I got to record my reaction for The Sandlot for the Patreon. So I got to do that. I got to do my Q&A responses, my video Q&A responses for the Patreon. And if I'm feeling like it, I might. I don't know. I'm not going to say for certain I will. But it always depends on how my mood is. Sometimes I get very socially drained and I'll just kind of retreat to myself and just kind of do something on my own. So it just depends. Just keep an eye out. I'll let you guys know if I do. Love your channel, especially your Mike Flanagan reactions. Yeah, I mean, I'm sad I'd have to put off Midnight Mass. I wanted to say Midnight Suns, Midnight Mass, but it's coming. It's coming. It's just I forgot Better Call Saul was coming out, and I want to wait for some of these shows to go on hiatus again, before, and then I'll probably pick it back up. Saul's on episode 3 now. We already covered that. There's only 4 more episodes, but they're releasing it in halves, so the second half of the season will come out later. So we'll have a bit of a break there, so that'll free up. I'll be caught up on Stranger Things soon. Flash is almost at the end. Superman Lois is almost at the end of their runs for this batch. So we're catching up. We're catching up. Remember when I asked if Young Justice is good and I'll watch it? Well, so far I'm in episode 8 of season 1 and it's really good so far. Season 1 and 2 are really good, I think. I only know Nova from Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm gonna head out here and go back to bed, have a good day, and get some food. Thank you, Dr. Watson. Also so happy that education is free in Germany. Yeah. Maybe one day we can catch up with the rest of the world. I want to meet Daniel Harris. Never met her before. I also want to meet Millie Bobby Brown. One day, man. I was the first of the family to go to college. There was a lot of pressure, and there were a lot of, let's say, poor choices made in the process, since no one had any ideas what we were doing. I'm right there with you. I was the first of my family to go to college. And then I changed my major a bunch. I wasn't wholly confident on what I wanted to do. I took a break, and then I came back. I had a lot of other life stuff happened in between. It took me 9 years to finish my 4-year degree, and because it dragged out so long, that just made my debt even larger. But I was so pressured, and I felt pressured that I need to finish. So I finished, at least, no matter how long it took me, and now I'm just paying for it. Not even using the degree. It's just disappointing. Good night, Omni. Have a good weekend. Enjoy Doctor Strange. Have a first showing on Thursday. Also, if I go back in time, I'd skip college too. My pointless graphic design degree. Mine is fine art, like the dumbass I am. Oh, I wanted to be an art teacher though, which is also kind of a pipe dream, and especially after the pandemic, man, being an art teacher is not very good. So maybe I dodged a bullet with that one, even though I'm paying for this degree now. You think Ezra will get recast after this movie? I 100% bet Ezra's going to get recast after this. So back in college to get a certification for something that's more recession-proof, which if I'm gone, I need to start doing that. I need to start getting my certifications up for some of my IT stuff. Be more marketable. Avengers Age of Ultron or Civil War? Civil War, easy. This has been a long string. It has. Never liked the new Fantastic Four movie, 2015. I never actually watched it because it looked awful. It's my go-to pizza topping, pepperoni and cheese. It's pretty much it. I'm a basic person like that. Hope you enjoy the more episodes for Season 3 of Stranger Things. When I watched it, it was so good. I'm going to enjoy watching it. I've heard people bring this up before, but would you think Caleb McLaughlin, Lucas from Stranger Things, is a good live-action Miles Morales? I couldn't see it, personally. But who knows? He could do a good job. Have I been to Disney World? I have not. I was actually planning a trip until COVID happened. Shut that plan down. Has this been my longest stream? No, I think my longest stream is like 4.5 hours. Now, if we're talking game streams, I've streamed. I don't remember what game it was. I know I had like an 8-hour stream at one point once. I had a 10-hour, 8 to 10 hour stream for DC Fandom. That was hard to get through, but I did it. What are game streams? Those are when I stream a game. Let's see. Thoughts on Chernobyl? If we're talking about the event, tragedy. If we're talking about the show, I've not seen it. Okay, I've seen more reactions than Stranger Things. What's my favorite episode from the Mirror Master arc of The Flash? I honestly don't remember any of it at this point. What am I having for dinner? I think pizza rolls. Healthy. I've never been an actor before. I never went to acting classes, done acting in school, but it seems fun. I don't know that I could do it, but I would like to try. What's my go-to snack? Popcorn. Logan movie. I've seen it. Great movie. I have not watched Logan yet. I will watch it one day. Was the game Injustice 2? No. That was not the long-ass stream that I did. I'm pretty sure the longest game stream I've done was definitely Kingdom Hearts, but it wasn't on YouTube. It was on Twitch. I think I played for like 8 to 12 hours. What do you think about Wanda potentially killing off Professor X in Multiverse of Madness? I mean, it's a rumor. It's been a rumor for a really long time, but I don't know if it'll happen. I wouldn't like it if it happened, but What's up, Jamie? I'm about to wrap up. I hate when Allegra keeps calling Chester Chuck. It's Chester, not Chuck. I mean, Chuck is short for Chester, but I get you. What's my favorite soda? Dr. Pepper. All right, I think we're caught up. We're caught up! Chernobyl series, bring tissues. Logan movie, bring tissues. I'll keep that in mind. Pizza rolls, yummy. All right. Officially, no more messages. Thank you guys a lot for tuning in. I know we talked about a lot today. We went on for quite some time, but thanks everybody for tuning in to this very momentous occasion as we mourn the loss of 2 great shows. But guys, I'll see you all next week for sure to talk about more stuff on the next live stream next Saturday as we do. But in the meantime, keep an eye out. Who knows? I've been really itching to play some games, so I might stream, and I've actually been debating about picking up my game streams back on Twitch. So I don't know if I'm doing that or not. So if you're not following my Twitch, go ahead and follow that just in case. But guys, that's it for now. See you all next time. Take care, everybody.